now. Trinidad and Tobago. I want to fly.
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. New legislation aimed at strengthening the Tobago House of Assembly's authority to enforce regulations within the Buko Reef Marine Park is forthcoming. Member of Parliament for Tobago West, Joel Sampson, said significant advocacy has been taking place behind the scenes to persuade Cabinet to bring the draft Marine Park Bill 2020 to Parliament. His comments come in the wake of the tragic jet ski accident at Pigeon Point that claimed the life of 7-year-old Angelica Jogi.
In very short order, we will take it to the Parliament, and I will be heavily involved. My colleague, the Member of Parliament for Tobago East as well, would be involved in such debates, because we have to bring that legislation, because we have to have some laws regulated to deal with the marine park, because persons have been operating ad hocly.
In 2020, the Assembly Legislature unanimously passed a motion called the Draft Marine Park Bill in order to allow the THA greater control over designated marine parks. Currently, the Constitution does not allow the THA enforcement powers. That largely resides with law enforcement authorities such as the TTPS. The bill features provisions to allow the imposition of fines, prohibition of activities, and powers of enforcement. It was delivered to Cabinet in 2020. Mr. Sampson is confident that the bill will go to Parliament before the end of this current parliamentary session. Meanwhile, Senior Superintendent Rodel Kirk of the Tobago Division confirmed that an autopsy revealed 7-year-old Angelica Jogi died from multiple traumatic injuries. He said an autopsy was completed on Monday by pathologist Dr. Hubert Daisley at the Scarborough Mortuary. Angelica was bathing with relatives at the Pigeon Point Heritage Park on Wednesday, April 8th, when a jet ski plowed into them, injuring multiple persons. Angelica received the worst of the impact and later died at hospital. Crown Point police have since apprehended a 32-year-old man in connection with the incident. He remains in custody. Senior Superintendent Kirk stated that when police are satisfied that investigations are complete, the matter would be referred to the Director of Public Prosecutions for further action. In other news, the Ministry of Education says Term 3 of the 2025-2026 academic year has started smoothly, with timely school reopenings across the levels, that is, childhood, primary, and secondary categories. It said teaching and learning resumed nationwide without major disruption, as Form 5 and Form 6 students prepare for upcoming CSEC and CAPE examinations. In preparation for those exams, the ministry said it completed 79 minor and 16 emergency repairs during the Easter vacation period. As part of efforts to boost student performance, particularly in mathematics, the ministry said it has expanded its AI-powered academic support program, giving Form 5 students the round-the-clock access to digital tutoring with guided practice and instant feedback. Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlath praised the smooth reopening, saying it showed what was possible when all stakeholders worked together. The ministry also noted that student support services, school supervision, and district-level monitoring remain fully active as Term 3 continues. In sport, the ICC has unveiled a record-breaking prize fund for the upcoming Women's T20 World Cup. The total pool of US $8.76 million represents an increase of 10% from the 2024 tournament.
The International Cricket Council is putting its money where its mouth is, announcing a record $8.76 million prize pool for this summer's Women's T20 World Cup in England and Wales. The tournament expands from 10 to 12 teams, with 50% more group stage matches than the 2024 edition. The winners walk away with $2.34 million, the same as 2024, but with a higher participation fee now baked in. The minimum any team can earn has jumped from $112,500 to $247,500. The teams that stand to gain the most are those reaching the knockouts. A losing semi-finalist now takes home a minimum of $922,500 compared to $787,500 2 years ago. The tournament bowls off on June 12th at Edgbaston. as hosts England take on Sri Lanka, and the final on July 5th at Lord's, the home of cricket.
And that's what's making the news this morning. But joining us right now is Vamala Balkaran, the host of Trinidad and Tobago Today. Good morning, Vamala.
Good morning, Carrie. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. How did you fare this morning, considering yesterday you had a little traffic to face?
Yeah, honestly, it was a really long morning. I feel like it's been 6 weeks of this week already.
Wow.
I don't know why. It feels like it should be Thursday by now.
I know, it's only Tuesday, right?
Yeah, it is the second day of school. I understand the traffic was pretty bad yesterday. It's also building already today. And Carrie, as it's the second day of school, something came to mind this morning that I'll address a little later on in the show. And it's that we need to teach our children to be kind when they go to schools.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah.
We need to be the examples.
Yeah, and you'll see children.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The Cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons, powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music. Culture.
As Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bisesa has announced recently with our revitalization master plan, we are open for business, and a key area, a key focus of that master plan is, of course, the energy sector and the energy hub. And we will be open for business, not only for Nutrien, but for all other players that wish to discuss their investment portfolio with us.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge? And confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation.
I'm waiting for a super. I've got to go quick. I've got to go quick.
From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Voices you know, trust, and respect are the very best in talk. Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the ground report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Andy Williams and Lennox Smith, the ground report team, as they rip apart the lies, half-truth, and misinformation that the mainstream media never discuss. The Ground Report. Hard-hitting, informative, undiluted, uncompromising, and unfiltered. Monday to Friday. Get the raw facts before making any life-changing decisions. Only on The Ground Report.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Time check. It's at 12 minutes past the hour of 6 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report. You're still the pitbull of radio in studio. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Not forgetting my co-host, Lennox Smith, in studio. Yes, the big word man. Into the dark. And the man on the ones and twos. The director. Yeah, the director Snipes. That's what we're talking about. I must have blessing good morning to all maxi taxi drivers, PH drivers, bus drivers, truckers. Good morning to you. To all senior citizens, a pleasant good morning to you. To the physically challenged and disabled people, a pleasant good morning to you. For all of you that are looking to us on our several social media platforms, good morning, each and every one of you. Not forgetting those that are looking to us on Talk City 91.1 FM. Mr. Pleasant, good morning to all my drivers. Whether be a maxi driver, taxi driver, PH driver, bus driver, a 7-seater, a white panel van, a trucker. I see the hot donkey and all our radio on donkey too. I see men riding bike and all. The high radio on the bike. But me know they're riding some dangerous bike now too, eh? I see some bike there, them sit on the bike wheel quite down the road and them quite in front. I say, but what kind of bike is that? I say, but like that is a trailer bike. I say, but that real dangerous. The chain long. I say, but this is a real comfortable kind of bacchanal bike they're doing here now, boy. But I say they know. If somebody make out them kind of bike with a design in there now. When a man turn in to go in a road, he have to open wide like a truck. And then what's me? A driver now go miscalculate. Eh? If a bike can design to be like that, especially in Trinidad, that is a dangerous thing people doing there, you know. Yeah. They go hit that back of that bike, you know. Taxis, maxis, or private vehicles. But I'm madness. I want to Lennox Smith about the bike way back so by long like it's a sea land in Arona. That dangerous, I feel that very, very dangerous. But me and Ona boy, hey, When a driver feel well, you see you pass there, so whap, and them don't have an average of what is a bike. And you riding that bike and you pass, whap. The driver say, all right, I can turn now. And while he turn there now, whap, he hitting that whole back wheel and flipping here, you know. I say, but them looking for that boy. I see bike a big box music and thing on it too, well, right? When I think I see the ground report lock on, I see a donkey and all. Donkey cart, the toting grass. It have a box there, portable. The man like your internet on the phone or what? Yeah, wait. Anyhow, like this time, it's a pleasant good morning to you.
Pleasant good morning, Andy. Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Pleasant good morning to you, Lennox.
Yeah, but you ever see them long kind of bike there, so with the back there? Well long.
I think it's a great innovation. I like to see when young men use their mind to create things, you know.
Oh, you like to, but you ain't think it's a dangerous innovation in Trinidad and Tobago roads?
Well, we have a lot of things that are dangerous. It's how you use it.
Well, boy, that thing long, boy.
Yeah.
I did it
It's how you use it, you know. During the August vacation, I would have seen some of these young men have their bike kind of looking like it's dropped low, but they add an extra piece of metal to get a style, a kind of style. It is dangerous because if they hit something, or the kind of roads we have, they kind of run up on the curb or something, they could get hurt, you know. But I suggest that they're well skilled and know what they're doing.
Yeah, but I see that already. Yeah. I see that one where they drop low thing. I don't know if they're going to overhump them in trouble. I don't know about that one, but this is the thing. I see the bike and them long already. But why I talk is because the longest I ever see yesterday, I tell you the thing is about 12 feet long, boy. I see they got 6 feet. About 12 to 15 feet long, the back part. Long.
You know, it's actually good that you pointed that out, because let me tell you this. You know, in your young days, you don't see danger. The way we see danger now, some of the things that we've done in the past, we would not attempt to do it now. You know, so it's great that you could point that out, and I hope some of the parents who have young men who have a little welder partner to extend the bike frame and do all these things, think about the fact that it could be dangerous.
Could be that well dangerous. Lennox Smith, a pleasant good morning to you. I see a bike where I don't know if you want to ride it. It's about 15 feet long in the back, away from the man pedaling.
I assure you, my friend, that I will not deliberately and conscientiously engage in anything that will endanger me. Right? So let's get that clear. But
at least you have some dangerous dance moves. You know?
well, I don't consider it to be dangerous. You see, that is why I engage. If it is dangerous.
I don't know if you remember. I don't know if you guys remember, like how this generation making the bikes long.
Right.
In the 90s, that generation would have made the bike tall.
All right, good. I was exactly there I was going. Yeah, because while of course you would have made that observation, which of course in itself is a innovation, frankly. And I don't know if they're getting money for it, but I hope that it has some kind of financial benefit. But if it is just for style, which you know, young people so engaged at one time, tight pants, next thing of course fat pants, next thing short pants, and next thing 3/4, you know. So let's face it. Depending on the generation, you have what is called the fad, and so this seemed to be a fad. But of course, I noted that what Nigel has said, that in those days, when these fellas adjusted their bikes to be high, they had to actually depend on a lamppost to either get on or to stop. Yeah.
Imagine you falling off a bike like that now, boy.
Yeah, just imagine
you falling off a bike like that.
How they do it, but I suppose it is a sort of ingrained cultural thing in people, because when one look at the Mokojombi, you see, you understand where the skill probably naturally has come from, so that they could withstand either the length in terms of the horizontal length as opposed to the vertical length of the bikes. But these are steel items, you know what I mean? And I mean the danger is real, but they ride in traffic in those days as well. And as I said, I wanted to find out. I actually followed one of them to find out, well, how they dismounting this bike, the ones that were tall in the sky like a Mokojombi, and they actually had to wait on a rooftop, somebody low rooftop, or a wall, or a lamppost, or something of that nature, in order to assist them
I don't know if Andy
in
remember
disembarking.
that.
Yeah.
I don't know if Andy remember that, but that was 90s, early 90s.
Yeah. I remember that very thing. Wear short pants, and
a little
I
boy.
think the go of the day would have been Michael Jackson. So he had these short black tight pants way above your ankle, and it was the go, and that was it. You know?
I would hope though. The invention of that is becoming a trend. I would hope that if in fact it came from Trinidad, someone patent or patent it and hold the design.
Yeah, I think it's good business, because nothing different, but there's more. There has been a competition developed with that, where people use a particular type of bike, not at that shape and size and length as Andy would have said, but a bit shorter. But they will, of course, do what is called wheelie and all kinds of antics
all
on the
stunts,
bike. Yeah, all kind of stunts. Yeah. So and some of them have found their way, of course, in Hollywood. Yeah, because when they want to do that kind of thing and looking at trend, the young people trend, they find themselves, of course, getting some kind of contract to act in that manner, because no serious actor will be able to perform those kinds of antics.
Taking it back
you could break your back or
taking
something
it
like
back
that. Yeah.
to what Andy kind of pointed out
Yeah.
to us early when he was speaking about the bikes. A conversation that is being had on the street right now presently about the dangers of those bicycles, and now we have the powered bikes or scooters that seem to be making it wrong in the court of public opinion, and people saying that. I don't think they should have a license for that, or I don't think, but when you think about it, it's really, really dangerous. Those powered bikes, you can't hear them,
Yeah, it's battery.
As a driver,
battery powered.
battery powered.
Yes, and you could buff and weave in and out of traffic. And I think the Commissioner of Police did make mention of that development, and it is as a consequence of what I consider to be those hybrid type machines for traveling. So it is not really a motorbike, but it's a bike acting as a motorbike. So it's a hybrid, and yes, that is a developing trend, and it is good. But those kinds of devices are good for undulating or low-lying areas where the roads are flat, not uphill, and so on. And Port of Spain and so on seem to be a place that is ripe with that kind of development. I've observed that with the young people, and of course parents are purchasing those kinds of items as toys for young people as well. But again, one has to be careful, because when them things start to act, and too many accidents as we have seen with those skis now.
Trinbagonians are very innovative people.
You're going to know after the fact. You're not going to look for regulations in order to, of course, curb the proliferation of those kinds of acts. So, but that is part of the evolution of society. So you can't, you really have to be adaptive and understand that is a time and it's a fad. And then, of course, you see it go away, and the next one takes over.
Yes.
All right.
Well, we're watching here on the headliners again on the Kokiai papers here. TNT issues terrorist blacklist. I mean, no government puts Hezbollah, Hamas, and the Irani Revolutionary Guards on its radar. Orders freeze on local assets linked to groups. So me know them might have some kind of local assets here.
Well, I'm shocked, but I suppose in our case, I want to assume that just in case there is, I really cannot contemplate the Houthis or the Hezbollah or Hamas having, of course, assets here. But it is good. It is good for Trinidad to do that because we are part of the international Western world, let's say, family. And so we have to take measures that would make sure that our societies are not infiltrated by such elements.
Well, you know, you're going on here, you're going on here.
You know, at one time, we were seen as the highest amount of terrorists in the Western world as a small nation. Yeah, so it's appropriate that the government do that. So I think it was a good move, just in case such issues.
Well, I sorry, yes. I sorry to do that. I sorry to do that. They could have just do that and the Lord let the public know, because that now going to be our next PNM punching bag. You know, radar, then US, and then leave America alone, and those about America now go be, oh my God, Trinidad Tobago going to get bomber.
Listen, the opposition clearly has get annoyed with that kind of defense for them, because really they are hypocrites, because tell them to give up their visa now, or if the family has some issue, I'm sure they will bend over backward to try to get their visa for them. So let us not waste time with these people. It's hypocrisy and it's petty politics, as we know the opposition at the present time is well known to exhibit. So let's not be too perturbed.
Nice. You just fix that mic little. So we can go get your horsey in and out. All right. Nice. You watching here that yeah. We watching here too that they say that the baby girl, the Angelica, yes, Angelica died from multiple head injuries. Oh boy.
Yeah. Well, the autopsy, the father did not decide to come back to Trinidad until he would be accompanied, or put another way, he could accompany the body. So the autopsy was being waited upon, and it was to be performed in the Scarborough Hospital, I believe it was. So that has come out, and now we know what the child died from. But we know, of course, what caused it, and that is the subject of a criminal investigation, I suppose.
Nice. Oh boy. We also see here Zachary takes over cabinet responsibilities for Caribbean Airlines, but then he always was, I think he was always in charge of Caribbean Airlines, that's all?
No, the Ministry of Finance, there's a rationale for it. But of course, it is logical because he's responsible for aviation as well, which of course would deal with airplanes and so on, apart from helicopters and all of that. So it was only,
and buses
it was a good fit. Yeah. So it was a good fit for him to have that. But of course, the argument was over successive administrations is that they put the CAL in the ministry or connected to the Ministry of Finance because of the huge amount of resources that from time to time very, shall I say, suddenly you would need some support, and therefore putting it under the Ministry of Finance, which means that the cash will be readily available. Well, this government say no. You put it in the where it has a perfect fit, and then of course it goes through the process, because right now $1 billion owed because of that venture with Jamaica. They are talking about putting a fuel cost on tickets, and of course trying to reduce the subsidy on tickets to Tobago. All of that is now being considered, having regard, of course, to the cost of fuel now internationally. No fault of the airline, but one cannot escape the fact that if the oil refinery was in fact operating, I'm sure that the cost of fuel would have been much more, shall I say, palatable financially. But it doesn't mean we would have escaped at least the large cost involved in the operation of an airline of that nature.
All right, well, we also see a couple who says a bid to overturn a medical retirement ruling. Yes, they say the police officer has lost his legal challenge over being retired on medical grounds after he missed work for over a decade following a serious job-related car accident. What was that? Serious job-related car accident.
I didn't get hold of that particular article, but it sounds very interesting because there's something like that that is taking place, one with the Army, one with the Coast Guard, where you have situations like that where people feel that they were unjustly treated and decided to take judicial review. I suppose this is another case.
Yeah, but right. What's nice about this one, right? So it's over a job-related car accident. In a judgment, in a judgment delivered by Andy's favorite judge. So in a judgment delivered yesterday by High Court Judge Frank C. Prasad, dismissed a lawsuit brought by former Corporal Campbell against the police, against the office of the police commissioner. Justice C. Prasad found that the decision taken by former police commissioner Elder Wood Christopher, and it done there. I'll go to the page 9, but just now, let me just see. But all in all, that what they're saying there, that it looked like he hold up on a decision made by Elder.
All right. Well, I suppose one has to understand what if he was the person who initiated the action, then we want to hear what the defense was that would have created the decision of the judge, that would have influenced the decision of the judge. So we'll take a look at that and therefore get a fuller understanding as to what really were the issues relating to that. But on the face of it, it appears that he was injured.
But how are you singing? So you're really not singing. You know me. Bassy.
He was.
You got to fix that mic somehow.
All right. Am I all right now? Yeah, he was. On the face of it, it appears that he was injured and took some leave, hoping that he would be compensated. That is what I've gleaned from what you have read. I've not, as I said, have a look to peruse that particular article.
All right, well, we will go in that in a little bit. We will go down in that in a little bit after we take this break here. But right before we take the break, we will want everybody mind to marinate around the Strait of Hormuz. I think it started yesterday, the American blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. I'm trying to make sense, so I know nobody and all of them will be listening. I'm trying to make sense out of it, Lennox Smith, between me and you. America went to negotiations to get the Strait of Hormuz. America make a decision, Lennox Smith, to get the Strait of Hormuz open in order for all these ships and them to pass and all those various things. Negotiations break down. But now America turn around and have a blockade, which blockade come like a roadblock. And everybody know in a roadblock, things they slow down from anything entering or anything leaving. So I will like, whether it be yourself, whether the listening public, give me an idea on what will be the positives of that, or if that have any positive at all, or what you think is the purpose of that, because I really kind of baffled with it. So when we go for the break and come back, when we come back more right in the Ground Report, I think we will get down into that aspect a little bit, because again, I can't understand it. They wanted the flow of ships to flow because they said that is 25% of world energy come out from that Strait of Hormuz there. And then now, with a blockade, it slows down to me. But again, let's take the break. Let me see what sense we can make out of it.
The Trinidad and Tobago online arrival and departure card platform can be accessed at travel.gov.tt. It is free, convenient, and required information can be completed within a few minutes. Passengers must create an account using a valid email address to access the portal, which will be available 72 hours prior to travel. The online arrival and departure card is a mandatory declaration for all international passengers and replaces the former process of filling a paper form. To complete the online arrival and departure card, each traveler must have flight information, a valid passport, and must upload a picture of the passport biodata page. Receipts for immigration and customs containing a QR code will be generated upon submission. Download and save the receipts, which will also be sent via email. Edits can be made to the declaration prior to the day of travel. However, if any changes are required on the day of travel, passengers must complete a new online arrival and departure card. The QR code may be required before boarding and must be presented to officials upon arrival and departure. A transformative travel experience awaits. This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Tune in to the Holy Trinity Cathedral program on Talk City 91.1 FM every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Mark your calendar. It's a great way to stay connected with the spiritual reflections, uplifting messages, and community updates right here with us on Talk City 91.1 FM.
This isn't just radio. This is your voice, your city, your platform. Talk City 91.1, where the conversation begins.
And you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Bang, 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 bang.
Well, I see in the papers, it still remains Trinidad and Tobago that we are just at 100 murders. Some may know it's still saying 100, so I think that about 2 days I've seen just 100. But besides that, and the umpteen local issues that we have to raise, we just go in a little in the geopolitics there. You know, let's just go a little in the geopolitics. Because, you know, we have to understand what's going on. If more bombs going on drop, if it is they're going to get the uranium, which is make bombs, right? I pronounce it good. Lennox Smith, talk to me. That whole issue of that blockade, what is that relevant?
Talks have broken down. They were in Pakistan, in fact. At the level of the vice president, so that's how important that was. But the sticking point, one of the major sticking points, is that the Iranians are not prepared to give up their enriched, of course, uranium, which, of course, from the information we have, indicates that they could make something like 11 atomic bombs. And the Americans are saying you cannot have an atomic bomb. And therefore, they would want to have possession of the enriched uranium, the material that they would have already enriched for the production that has the potential to produce a bomb. Of course, all the while they were saying that they were not so engaged. It was for peaceful purposes. But clearly, from what has transpired and given all of the information, it is clear that they were being dishonest and they really had ambitions of course, having a bomb. And when one looks at what transpired in recent times, in terms of what they were prepared to do to their own neighbors, even though, of course, the target would have been the Americans. Of course, they cannot be trusted, and of course, none of the countries in the Arab world or in the Middle East there would certainly want to trust Iran at all. So that has broken down. The vice president has returned to the United States, but the alternative would have been would have been that the strait would now be, of course, a sore point, a focal point, and the Iranians have claimed that they have mined the entire thing, and that they are prepared, of course, to defend it and therefore hold the whole world to ransom. Well, they have, in fact, given the Americans another argument for being in the Middle East and being aggressive as they have been against the Iranians, because they are saying that what you're left with and what they're trying to leverage is that there should be no activities to tankers going in and out, because the Iranians said that they are large and in charge. And in fact, prior to the substantive discussion, they were saying, well, listen, if we are prepared to compromise in spite of the major issues, as I've said earlier, concerning the Americans, but we are prepared, of course, to let you pass with your tanker, but you'll be taxed $1 per barrel, and you know it's millions of barrels passing through there on a daily basis, over 100 ships. So you should know the kind of money. So Trump administration said, no. If it is that you are being eclectic, if it is you are being selective, including, of course, allowing those who purchasing things from you, whether it be the Chinese or the Indians, we are going to initiate a blockade where nobody is allowed to,
so the whole thing on it is
exit or enter, because you cannot benefit and hold the rest of the country the rest of the world to ransom because of your selfish and aggressive stance.
So it just boils down here it is. Since it's only you people who purchase from you or who you want to guide out today, which you're still getting a little money, here it is. Nothing can pass, nothing can come in, well, here it is. Let nothing happen at all. That's what's going on there. Let the whole world suffer.
This as well. I want to say this quickly, that the Americans, you really can't stop them, They have now, because of shale gas and oil, have become energy self-sufficient. So what they have done, say, listen, if you don't want to go there, come by us. We will sell you all the oil that you could get. And of course, they know full well that they're in control of Venezuela. So you see what's happening here? So if it is that Iran, or if businessmen don't want, because of the cost involved and the potential danger, then come down to the Atlantic Ocean, and then of course come to the United States and into the Gulf there and fix up, and we will provide you with the energy that you need for your various countries, whether it be Asia or otherwise. I think is a win-win situation for the Americans.
No, but I believe, I thought, the big move there would have been eventually, because remember, America have been asking NATO members and them to organize to help. And knowing that they're technically doing it on their own, in a way, I thought, America just going to earn the straight and done, which is only relevant, which is only the smartest thing. Let's take over the straight and done.
Well, all of that, I'm sure, is part of the negotiation, but the Iranians are a wily bunch. You never could tell what they have in store, what they will do, and they are prepared, of course, to me, to commit suicide, because it is about some kind of ideology or principle that they prefer to have all of the 90 million people that comprise that country die, and they give up a certain principle that they consider to be their own integrity, their national fervor, and of course it is based on, I suppose, religious sentiments or religious ideology. So you cannot take that away from a person who is ideologically, swayed, because that it has nothing to do with material things, it has nothing to do with human beings. It's about their ideology. And of course, Iran has emerged, the present administration has emerged as a theocracy, which of course is government by religion, in this case, of course, Islamic. And of course, Shiite, not Shiite, no, not the Shiite. Not the Sunni, yes, not the Sunni, Shiite, yeah. Shiite.
Good morning, Ground Report.
Good morning.
This is concerning the noise pollution again. This thing is getting so ridiculous with people with their cars. You can't sleep, you can't do anything at home, you can't listen to TV, people have no respect. We need a change in this country really bad. Andy Williams, all the help people here in this country, please. We need help, people doing anything they want with this music now and shaking up your house. They can't think straight. They want to do all the wrong thing in life now. So the country getting really reckless right now. We need a change soon. Please help.
I didn't get where that is occurring, so maybe we could zero in.
Yeah, let us know what area is that, because you're really sounding
Yeah.
shake up. It sounds like you ain't get rest. You're hearing
Yeah.
it crack up in your voice like you ain't get rest.
Well, I'm sure that others would piggyback on that concern, but we'd have liked to know what has
Yeah, let us know
triggered
what area.
that particular voicemail, and therefore location is important, so we could probably zero in.
So let us know, is
get
that a
some relief.
party in the area there or what? A neighbor, partner come and check them and they're just playing music, drinking rum and just chilling out there, what? Or it was just pass and then passing back only, I don't know, so you'll let me know.
Good morning, Andy. Good morning, Lennox. Good morning, Director Snipes. Good morning to the goodbye the people of Trinidad and Tobago, not the bad man and the seat. And the roti man, I keep back, keep bad boy. Roti man, bad man, you know. Roti man, forget the kind of political work we do. Like you forget the pundit. As roti man, get back, keep bad. Roti man, can't just side up me. Everybody talking about that roti man, boy. As he get back, keep bad boy. He used to be born in the mother of the nation. He used to be cussing the mother of the nation. When we was on 91.9 every duty and TC day, he get banned for 3 years. Because he come in and saying the worst about the Prime Minister Kingsley is that white jacket, black jacket, roti man, me watching, you know. And this TV from that fella. Watch that fella, eh? He's a nasty, wicked white jacket, black jacket, and grasshopper. Kingsley fire burn all the so I to keep them African people, all like crabs in a barrel, brown tongue licking.
Good morning, Andy Lennox. I'm Director. Lennox, yeah, you're right. But the reason why they were charging, I come to understand it, because they needed money to build back the country that Israel got bombed on them. Israel bombed them, and Israel must have nuclear weapons, but Israel want nobody in the Middle East to have nuclear weapons, so they can control whatever land they want to take. So they can go to Lebanon and take the land, and anybody else take the land. And they have nuclear bombs, so they don't want nobody else to have it. But the problem is, when you blow up, or if I damage your house, I have to pay back for your house. Who's going to pay to fix my house? So be a little lenient and be a little smarter when it comes to taxing. They want the money to fix the place. All right? Just like Kamala was the oil. So we could be a beautiful country. We need to get it all so we can be the country we want to be. Beautiful, exciting, love the beach, the people are great, so I could come home and enjoy my life later on. By the way, it's not funny. Because the whole world will be starving. And even Trinidad too. Everything will go up. But it's not funny. It's serious.
Yeah. So he said that's not on it. So look, he have a different concept. He's saying that could cause the whole world to stop technically the blockade.
Well, I'm seeing fertilizer. Remember, we produce some of it here. So that also is coming out there and will assist, of course, the world food, if you want to call it that, security. And if that cannot come out, if those commodities cannot come out, particularly for the African countries that has vast amount of land and still depend on agriculture to a large extent, then of course the fertility of the soil and the productivity by way of more produce will certainly suffer. So he has a point there. Because of the...
You're sounding like you're underwater. I don't know what's going on with your mic. What you could change that mic.
All right, let me change your mic. I think I better do that. Let me change that mic.
Yeah.
Let me change that. All right, so I've changed it. Anything? Yes, sir.
Yeah. Use all two. Yeah. So go ahead, you go ahead. It's when you turn in your mouth, so you go. We'll pick you up in any direction. Oh boy. The mic have Pacific focus. Right. So I ain't here do it. So you have to press it on. Yeah.
All right, so he has engaged. I'm now using. Is it better now?
Yeah.
Andy?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just adjust my headphone now.
Because show how if
right.
I hearing you outside, was hearing you.
Huh? No. No. Are you using this one? Or this mic are you using? Are you using this mic? All right. I think we got it now. Andy, you speak, Lemire?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm allowed
All
up
right.
there. Yes.
Okay. All right. No, you have to take off this one. All right, good. All right, I think we got some adjustments. It might have been the mic itself because I'm still in the same position and I'm talking with the same intonation. All right, so yeah, are you hearing me? I want a response from you.
Yeah. Loud and clear. We're hearing you loud and clear. But before you...
All right, good, great. So it means that might have been a mic issue. Yeah. So I'm saying yes to that. There could be further repercussions negatively for the world with respect, of course, to food production, because a lot of the fertilizer that is required for the production of food across the globe comes from that area as well. So not just oil and gas, but also that item as well. Trinidad and Tobago could hardly, make up for the difference that is now required. So the caller is correct. This is the point I'm making. I'm just reinforcing what he would have said.
That we will have some problem.
The Americans are acting in their interest. They're saying that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, one, and two, that since they want to blackmail the world, then of course they cannot benefit from that. That's the argument they are making. And so a blockade would mean that they too will not be able to benefit financially. And they can't say, well, look, if the Chinese purchase from them, they can allow these tankers to leave or enter.
I don't understand it. Yeah, well, understandable about it at the end of the day. Right? So the whole of Trinidad and Tobago, the whole understanding that I take in this whole thing before we go for that quick break and come back, is that Iran have technically have a blockade anyhow. Where there are mines, this, that, or if it go, the paste in products, whether it be petroleum products or gas or anything coming through, really and truly not coming through, right? They went in negotiations, they failed in negotiations with America. So here it is. Now I as America just going to block it back now because nothing is happening anyhow. So let nothing at all come out from Iran because it's only what the interests of who they're seeking is who they let in pass. So the world suffer, everybody suffer. So to me, it still looks like it's Iran and not America. Because at the end of the day, it's only about, I think it's about 5 to 8 ships getting to pass daily. And that is where Iran escorting through to make sure they move, they breaks the mines and all them.
The mines and so on. But America is saying, no, you must financially suffer. But you can't benefit from that. And of course, Trump was very, very upfront and quick to say, we don't need that street. We are energy sufficient. In fact, we sell in.
That bad. We go for a break and come back. When we come back, more right here on the Going Port. We'll be back.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Hey Trisha, I ain't seen in a while. How business going?
Boy, business real slow these days, you know, and advertising expensive.
You for real? You ain't hear about SBP?
What is that?
Small Business Package. You can advertise your business on radio. They cater for your budget.
You serious?
Yes, girl. Them fellas are Next 99.1, Sweet 100.1, and Talk City 91.1. Real bigging up your thing.
What? No way. Tell me where, when, and how.
Call 622-4141. That number is 622-4141. And for more information, you can email tttsales@ttt.co.tt.
I'm heading down Marfal Road now. That's something too good to be true.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most, on air and online. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. We are back. It's about 5 minutes to, and I'm happy that we are back. We have Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody, I call you because you seems to be very, very, very ukura with the whole issue of that Middle East, that strait, and the whole purpose and intent at this point in time of United States of America. Some people are saying, no, the blockade. So what I want to find out from you, Mr. Nobody, is the blockade. Where is it good? Where is it bad? Where is the intent? Is that not more like that come like a traffic? Like, you know, they have a roadblock where it will slow down thing more? Where is the whole situation with that? Where is is it a winning situation? Is it a losing situation? The world 20% and you will take it now, blockade, and then America saying, well, check them, or they'll get oil there because them are shell oil now. What's your thoughts on that whole thing? What is the whole purpose of that blockade and what sense it makes?
So always look to the past for the answers for today. This has happened before. Go Google people, the tanker war. During the 1980s with the Iran-Iraq war, Iran did a similar thing where they blockaded the Strait of Hormuz by using mines and these speedboats that they would ram ships with. Over 400 ships were attacked and hit. It lasted over 4 years. The world didn't stop spinning. And it didn't fall apart. Now, I am Lennox concerned about, you're concerned too about fertilizer. You know, that could happen. But what the U.S. is doing today, right, just like they did back then, the United States of America reopened the Strait of Hormuz. The Kuwaitis and the others further up in the Gulf asked the Americans, listen, the Iranians have blockaded the Gulf. Can you help us? And they got their navy, and in one day, the Iranian navy was eliminated, and they started to escort ships out of the strait. Right? So if they did it back then, they can do it now, especially with the technology they have now. Don't believe me. Go Google people, underwater unmanned systems or vehicles. There are submarines that the U.S. have that can demine the Strait of Hormuz with no people involved. Basically robots, right? The fact that the Americans are not doing it right now is because it's for a political purpose. And that political purpose has several reasons. This war was really about a few things. One, the nuclear issue. Yes, Iran was a nuclear threat. I sent to you all something about the Prince of Saudi Arabia explaining how dangerous Iran is to the region and the world, right? If Iran got a nuclear weapon, Saudi Arabia is going to have to get one immediately after, right? But the Americans are using this war, besides taking care of the nuclear threat, to dismantle a world order that exists today that would have led to a whole lot of other trouble. In particular, a world war where China was more likely or not going to invade Taiwan in 2027. That's not me saying it, that's Xi Jinping saying it. All right? Go Google Xi Jinping, invasion 2027. But by demonstrating to the Chinese that, listen, don't do it because you won't win, that may actually prevent, that's called deterrence. That's what the Americans used to do, right? It's deterrence to prevent that war. But coming back to what you really want to find out about, the blockade that the Americans are doing right now is exactly what Lennox said. It is to, you're going to blockade but still benefit from the strait? Nope, that's not going to happen. What I'm going to do is to apply pressure to you, right? And yes, it will close off the strait, but simultaneously, the Americans are saying, don't worry, world. Your oil and fertilizer needs can be supplied by the United States of America because we have it here in abundance. Because I also have Venezuela. This is why this is the four-dimensional chess the world missed with Donald Trump. He went for Venezuela first, right? So that he has the world's biggest supply in his back pocket for this eventuality. But here's where it really is important for Trinidad.
30 seconds before the news, 87, but go ahead.
Yeah.
Aye, hold. We will come back on that because it's 7 o'clock. We will come back on that. Sniper, right. We go for the news and come back. When we come back more right here on the Ground Report. We'll be back.
Good morning. This is your TDT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. Making the news at this time. Tobago experienced a smooth return to classes after the Easter vacation, with no issues reported. At the launch of the EK initiative in Signal Hill, Orlando Kerr said his monitoring indicates school reopenings proceeded smoothly.
So far, we have not had any major issues. Everything has been good, right? We have had our teachers out and most of our students are out. So it was a good day today for opening of schools.
With 5th and 6th form students sitting CSEC and CAPE examinations during this term, Secretary Kerr remains confident in Tobago's teachers' ability to adequately prepare their students.
But I think that our teachers are up to the task in terms of preparing our students because they have done this, and our Tobago teachers are very committed. And we are just asking students to relax, not to be too frustrated, too flustered, and just go and do the best that they can.
In other news, the highly anticipated Public Administration and Appropriations Committee meeting examining the state's procurement of pharmaceuticals was called off unexpectedly on Monday. The hearing was scheduled to be conducted in public from 1:30 p.m. However, in an unusual move, the chairman of the committee, Jagdeo Singh, announced the adjournment of proceedings.
Something quite regrettable has occurred that compels this committee to adjourn these proceedings. It is regrettable, but it is unavoidable, and I wish to place on record my apology to the public for these proceedings not moving forward today.
The examination into the state's acquisition of pharmaceuticals focuses on the current processes governing their importation and approval. Previous sittings of the inquiry found that there was widespread abuse in the system for issuing special import permits to pharmaceutical companies, as well as the absence of a public list of approved pharmaceuticals allowed to enter Trinidad and Tobago. On Monday, Chairman Singh acknowledged the increased public interest the proceedings have garnered and apologized to the public for the adjournment.
I did not think that that was a tenable position to adopt, having regard to the large public following this inquiry has garnered. And I think we owe a duty to the public to at least to explain why. I cannot go into the reasons why. For members, we have had an extensive discussion amongst ourselves. I do not propose to go into the reasons why. All I can say is to use a neutral term, phrase. It is regrettable but unavoidable that we have to adjourn.
The committee was adjourned to April 27th at 1:30 p.m. In some sport now, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force are in the driver's seat in round 1 of the West Indies Championship, with Amir Jangu leading the way with an unbeaten 133 against the Leeward Islands Hurricanes. Sent in to bat at the Coolidge Cricket Ground in Antigua, the Hurricanes were dismissed for 138. Jamar Hamilton top scoring with 44, as Red Force spinners Brian Charles and Carrie Pear claimed 3 for 9 and 3 for 34 respectively. In reply, Jangu's patient 133 not out of 209 deliveries, his second first-class century, has TNT well on top. Terrence Hines is alongside him on 55 not out, with captain Joshua De Silva earlier contributing 62. Bowling for the Hurricanes, O'Shane Thomas finished with figures of 3 for 82. The Red Force closed day 2 on 380 for 5, a lead of 242 runs. In some more news now, U.S. President Donald Trump is facing mounting criticism after sharing an AI-generated image portraying himself as a Jesus-like figure and launching online attacks against Pope Leo XIV. The image, posted on Trump's Truth Social platform on Sunday and later deleted, showed him in a white robe appearing to heal a man. It followed comments in which Trump labeled the Pope weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. Trump later claimed the image depicted him as a doctor connected to the Red Cross, dismissing criticism as fake news. Responding on Monday, Pope Leo said he would avoid debate, but reaffirmed his commitment to speaking out against war and promoting peace and dialogue as he began a visit to Africa. And that's what's making the news at this time. When we return, it's hour number 2 of Trinidad and Tobago Today.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
This is about creating opportunity through responsible management and citizen participation in national wealth. We are targeting US $3 billion in new investment within the next few years in energy, in construction, in tourism, and the digital economy.
Music.
It's reconstruction time in Trinidad, so put your shoulder to the wheel, man, lad, move on, don't stop. Till you reach the top. You put a hand and I put a hand and we will sing. For big and for small in no time at all. Prosperity. There's no other way to do it. Show your patriotic spirit. Unity somehow. That ever needed you is now.
Culture.
The budget has goodies and some not so goodies, but that is because fairness requires that everyone plays their part.
Engaging conversations, latest news, our music. This is Talk City 91.1 FM.
Protect yourself from electric shock or death. Before conducting repairs close to overhead lines or the point of connection to your home, contact Tech to request a temporary disconnection. When driving tall vehicles, ensure they do not exceed 15 feet. Do not lift lines to allow vehicles to pass. When carrying out underground works, contact Tech's area offices to ensure there are no underground conductors and cables before digging. At Tech, safety is our priority. Tech, the power to make it work.
Hey Trisha, I ain't seen you in a while. How business going?
Boy, business real slow these days, you know, and advertising expensive.
You for real? You ain't hear about SBP?
What is that?
Small Business Package. You can advertise your business on radio. They cater for your budget.
You serious?
Yes, girl. Them fellas are Next 99.1, Sweet 100.1, and Talk City 91.1. Real bigging up your thing.
What? No way. Tell me where, when, and how.
Call 622-4141. That number is 622-4141. And for more information, you can email tttsales@ttt.co.tt.
I heading down Marfal Road now. That song ain't too good to be true.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. TTT News brings you the facts that matter most. On air and online. More ways to stay informed. TTT News covers the stories that matter. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Bang, bang, bang. The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy. Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. Time check. It's 9 minutes past 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. You are also listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms. Mr. Pleasant good morning to Tobago, I would say style. Pleasant good morning to you all. And we see that you all had a good start to the school term in Tobago there. Oh boy, oh boy. Well, we were talking about the straight. Well, nobody organized and it makes some sense into all of that. But I now see our next thing they pop up their way. Trump, they say, well, Trump playing God, they touching the Pope head. He's saying he's weak with crime. Or, you know, laughing. I don't know.
Interesting to me.
I don't know. I just, you like.
Yeah. What is interesting to me, Andy, is that when he was accused of pretending to be a messiah, even though of course it was AI generated, he turned and said no, he was playing a representative of the Red Cross. that typical politician response, boy, and you can't vex with him for that because they wear white as well and those kinds of tunic, if you want to call it that. But it's very interesting. I wanted to hear what he would say because he's playing God, because the thing does depict a sort of Messiah type healing scenario. And here it is. He tells us, no, I was only depicting being a member of the Red Cross.
So what he said is,
that's a good one.
So he said, like the Pope sick, so you was just touching the air to see what is the temperature.
You say he came to bring of course greetings and love and cheer in a time of need. So all of that I think would have connotated what he wanted to imply. But I like the idea that when they catch him, so he said no, I was only of course representing a depiction of a Red Cross worker. I think that was good. That was very good. Yes, indeed. But that's how it is. Of course, the other issue we have, my friend, is that of the impasse between the government and more specifically, of course, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sean Sobers, and that unfolding scenario with respect to CARICOM, the chairman, and indeed the Secretary General, Carla, who clearly has remained silent for most of it, but the chairman seemed to have the responsibility to clear up things. The Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago will have none of it. She wants to get clarity, but based on documentary evidence. And while, of course, there was some information emanating from the office of the chairman, the Prime Minister of St. Kitts, that seemed to be insufficient for Trinidad and Tobago's satisfaction. And of course, some of the things that are really gray areas, why it is, if it is that the retreat was supposed to be only heads of government, why it is that was not in the advance or the package or the bundle that was sent in advance. That's one. Two, if that was the case, then why was there a need to send on the morning of the retreat in St. Kitts a WhatsApp note indicating that the chairman of CARICOM would prefer only heads of state to be present at the retreat. All those are nuances, if you want to call that, or discrepancies, if you want to call it that, or probably the use of semantics to try to justify an act that the present administration in Trinidad is claiming that it was surreptitious and it was, in fact, blatant and corrupt, to, of course, foist Secretary General on CARICOM and whether or not it will augur well for the body, for the regional body. But more importantly, Trinidad and Tobago has made it very clear that they will not be sitting in any meeting and or scenarios that involve the present Secretary General until this matter is satisfactory to the satisfaction of the Trinidad and Tobago government has been ventilated and resolved. So that's where we are.
Okay then, well that's where we are. Well, we are seeing here ex-housing minister raises concerns over a $3.4 billion HDC contracts. Right, what she's saying here in a short is former housing minister and member of parliament Camille Robinson Regis has raised concerns over the proposed award of $3.4 billion in public housing contracts to 11 contractors, questioning the transparency and legality of the process. In a media release issued yesterday, Robinson Regis said the awards had raised serious concerns about transparency, legality, and the government commitment to providing homes in Trinidad and Tobago. She said what should have been a straightforward, competitive, and transparent procurement process appears hidden behind secrecy, citing that she described it questionable. Wow.
Well, my first impression of that concern that the former minister would have had, Robinson Regis, is in the area of legality. I think that's a bit of exaggeration. The government is within its right to, of course, generate policies and programs to benefit Trinidad and Tobago generally, and in this particular case, to provide housing accommodation as they have indicated during the campaign, as part of the campaign promise to the population. So the legality of it, I think it was put in there to sound significant. Let's get down to, of course, the transparency aspect of it. Well, there were 18 applicants from the information I would have gleaned, and a short list of 11 would have emerged from that 18. So where is the lack of transparency? Because 18 applied, the 11 is now, of course, considered, and there may be a further shortlisting. I think they want 3, and the policy position is that if you can design, if you have the government may want to provide the land, but if you have the land and you can finance and you can design and you can deliver the houses, then the government task is simply to take possession of these assets and distribute it to the population to satisfy its housing program. What's the difficulty there? I am not seeing it, but I think is a case of seeing in others that which is in them, because of, as you know, there was a 400 million, I believe, a multi-million program, I think, to be excised by a Chinese firm that they had to give back just before the elections, and utilizing, of course, the lands in Kureb there, formerly the extension division of the Ministry of Agriculture, to try to, as the claim was at the time, to house pad in order to, of course, boost up St. Joseph, because their calculations, they would have seen that they would have lost St. Joseph, and so they wanted, of course, to
Lennox Smith,
these high-rise buildings inside of there in order just before the election. So others, that which is in them. Go ahead.
So to make a long story short, the issue there really and truly, you watch it as a non-issue because the contractors have to put the money on their own.
That's right. That is the policy. So I can't see.
So how much transparency?
The legality is otious. It's not relevant. It's irrelevant. But certainly, of course, if you want to make the argument of transparency, then of course, just as how they would have selected contractors, the present administration has a process, and people went through the process, and now they are in a stage where they are identifying persons who qualify. to do the construction.
Right,
Go ahead.
but what about when people saying there that at the end of the day, wrong is wrong, right? And that how when the UN PNM was there, you would have talked that about transparency, openness, this, that, fairness, how if it go. But with the UNC, they know you're justifying, well, they can do it so, and they could come with a policy so, and all them various things. And why didn't say the same thing that the PNM could have come with a policy the same way, and why back at it when they empower and they could have come with a policy. So just being out devil's advocate and throwing it out on the other side.
No, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with that. I just mentioned that was 18, 11 would have been selected. I don't know if there is a process for the shortlisting. That seemed to be suggested by the minister. But the minister is also saying that listen, the people who may well get the work, the contracts, and some of them, she didn't say all, some of them are not well known to HGC. I mean, and that to me says that you are not in government, and therefore, if it is the
you said the minister, you said she didn't say the minister.
Yeah,
she.
Once it meets the transparency threshold, meaning that the procurement regulator is satisfied and there is no query, then what is the issue? Because let's face it, she is referring to political patronage, and that is a feature of democratic government. We have always said that. But political patronage at the expense of everybody else, that is where the PNM has failed in terms of its efforts to believe that it's only PNM people connected to the PNM is able to manage Trinidad and Tobago that has left us, of course, because of that mediocrity, have left us in the morass and the tragedy that is Trinidad and Tobago today, that would have been inherited by the present administration about a year ago. But we have, of course, Andy, your capiche.
Nice. Oh boy. So Trinidad and Tobago, we need 4 numbers. Snipes, let us know what went on yesterday. Come, let's get the next 4 numbers for today.
Well, yesterday, the numbers that were chosen by our callers, we had number 4, dead man, 35, big snake, 27, little snake, and of course 32, shrimp.
I remember Amansi. I played for Little Snake.
For Little Snake.
Yeah, but you say you say Andy, you played for Big Snake.
Yeah.
So yesterday's numbers at 10 a.m. we had winning number 13. At 1 p.m. we had number 27. At 4 p.m. we had number 8, and at 7 p.m. we had number 21. So Lennox, you play yesterday?
I play.
Yeah.
Anderson,
and you know me and play.
Anderson.
And you know me and played. I played on play.
That was Anderson. It was Anderson.
Anderson
Yeah,
said,
Anderson.
"I's a big
Yeah,
snake." The man called me big snake, and he said he gonna play Lennox. He's a little snake, trying to in a technical smart play where insult me and Lennox now. Hit me under the belt.
Well, as a matter of fact, he did put money in people's pockets yesterday.
Well, I want to say that
he might be player, so we gotta hear we gotta get him.
I can see how. Well, I think it's a typical case of spitting his car fall, because I'm sure if he didn't play, if he didn't play,
yeah.
If he didn't play, it means that he would be regretting it now.
Yeah.
Because the same little snake would have of course, augmented his pocket. Yeah. So Anderson, if you play little snake, I will be annoyed with you this morning. And if you did, and you did it with a sufficient amount in terms of the return, then of course you know which part George Street is.
So Andy's pick yesterday was number 14.
Number 14.
And we didn't have get number 14 yesterday.
So you have to continue to mind that.
Yeah, definitely, because
that's one number I remember. Money.
Yeah, boy. Boy, that money come so long.
Yeah.
So let's head to the lines and see if we can.
Yeah. Get your numbers ready, people. This is courtesy, of course, NLCB, the company that loves to give money. But make sure you have your ticket, however.
Ooh,
let's go to the
boy.
lines.
So let the number so call 622-4911, 622-4911. Or you can call us at 225-6644, 225-6644, or 239-5120, or 239-5120. So a lot of people supposed to have money in the pocket after yesterday there. Little snake play in the third draw. Wow. That ain't bad, that ain't bad. So let's see what's your pick for today. What your dream? What's your capiche? While it's was in the car, what you see?
We have one on the side. Good morning.
Morning, the number is 14.
14.
14 today?
Yeah.
Why you get to me the
Yeah,
14 today? Because it's on the low. It's sleeping.
Nah, that's sleeping very long, boy.
Yeah, boy.
So it's about time you leave it will wake up.
Yeah, and yesterday was the 13th and 13 play.
Oh, I see.
So there's 14.
Today's the 14, so 14
14 go
expect to
play
play.
now.
I see where you're coming from. The handicap pitch. I learning, you know. I see I put all that together. I ain't coming with we cut off the head of the 6 and make it 0, you know.
Thank you, caller.
All right, next call on my side here. Go ahead.
Hi, morning, Andy. How are you?
I'm all right.
Morning.
You're lovely. It's been a long time.
Yeah, what's the mark for today?
I want to play Bossman play. Because Bossman have no respect for Mother Bernie, and that is very disrespectful, and I don't like it.
And that what are you playing him for?
That's, what is JA? 36? Donkey?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to play him, because that's all he's through, instead of JA. So have a good day, my dears.
Yes.
You are on that side, Snipes?
26.
Well, I'm going to get one on this side if you don't. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, good morning, Andy. Like that call, she picked my mind or what?
Oh,
I'm going with 36.
Oh, it's 36. All right. So we still have 2 more to get.
Donkey,
all right.
die for that fella there.
Who?
Kingsley. Because he trying to oppress me and we are talking to me. I say good morning to Possad. What a wonderful program. You have a balance. I call all have a balance. I don't know something wrong with Kingsley and them, but play 36 there and for all their money.
All right, I said 100 for you when I'm done. That's what you're going to say. You play it now. Oh, shucks.
Big one.
Wow.
We have one here. Good morning. What's the number?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey.
How much money you win?
Success.
Don't play a line, eh?
What shall I?
Don't play a line.
The time I call the Mark on the radio and try to play, no. But I went with 14 this morning.
14,
I
money.
know someone called 14.
No, somebody don't call 14.
All day.
Nah, when somebody
No,
called
I played
14.
27 yesterday morning, played after and I come back and I missed it, boy.
Yeah?
I was to play crap or snake.
Good boy.
They played 13, so Lennox, use that crap or snake.
All right.
You know them one will be in the Latina them?
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going 13. 13 is 24.
13 is crap, yes.
I feel like going with 24. If you're playing today, I'm going with 24. Green.
24. All right.
And just so before I leave, let me say good morning to Bossman, Mother Bunny, good morning, darling.
Queen.
Mother Bunny, and this thing is on a TikTok. Only Bossman alone now. How we going to when bus go to Arima, and when one go to South and bus only going in Central, and this what? To UE, only Bossman alone. KFC, I hear you and I feel you. I'm only, where is young KFC now? And my partner, Kingsley, remember God, it was you and KFC in Cuba.
Push on the pundit.
Yeah. Man. You can't think KFC so.
No, but you remember, it could be a backlash going on, eh?
It could be at the front line. So KFC have an excuse, right? Like a simple food card. All I get to go through my food card, then I have to go through nothing money when and run and chase the pundit, you know. All of stuff come down on KFC. Right. And let me give them because this is a great program with a lot of listeners. The driver from St. James to say, yeah, and your wife like to hear me. Good morning to you all and good morning to everybody.
All right.
Lennox,
Yay.
I hope you have money up to 27, eh?
No, I want you to play, and you know where George Street is?
I know Anderson in one of the in say if it is he pay. One more. The 14 done call, yes? Wow. One more, y'all.
Call it for that 14, man.
Yeah, they're minding that.
6224911 on this side.
Yes, one more mark, boy.
Yes, one more mark. So Anderson say I'm playing for Crapo this morning.
No,
13.
No, 24.
No, he said 13 play yesterday.
Oh, 13 play yesterday too? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
So he played for 24.
Oh, you played me for 24? I see, okay.
But you ain't said no ways that.
I'm checking it now. Queen. 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 I say I the learning process the learning curve is kind of steep, you know. How much numbers I have to remember?
Andy,
something?
Yes.
Andy are going with 36.
Now somebody done going with that 30.
Well, yeah. I still going with it. And was Sunday a dog player?
We only play once.
And Lennox are calling you and you answering your phone, but
and I talked to you yesterday, man.
Yeah, but you tell me that send the thing for me and I get it.
Oh gosh,
and I'll call you back.
Oh no. It slipped me. So I'll do it today. Sorry about that.
Yeah, after the program. All right.
Okay then. Yeah.
All right, so we still have two.
One more mark.
Get one from Andy and one from a caller.
You say that 20.
You have one. Well,
but where's our mark? Where's our mark sleeping a while now?
I prefer to play because Anderson ain't living too far from the landfill there, so I would want Kobo.
11.
Yes, 11.
So we taking we're gonna take Lennox mark today and close off.
Yeah. Anderson played for 11.
And Andy, you give us one.
Oh God, the man called Lennox a queen. Lennox call him a Kobo, yes. This play with thing and you hitting back people and we can't vex. Nobody can vex. It's just
I'm saying he's living close to the landfill. So it's just over the road. So therefore, Kobo.
Lennox get real good in this play with thing, boy.
It's real going on here.
Boy. Snipes, talk to me. Where's our Mark sleeping? Besides the 14, well, I can't go the 14. Where's our Mark sleeping? They said the dog play.
Dog play Sunday. Last draw.
But where's our Mark sleeping these days? You're fine. 21 get to play. Dog play. You know, Mark Wine.
I was going to say 1, but on the 6th, 1 play at 1 p.m. So.
You know, that Mark I ain't see you long time. But I seen them all over. Pregnant woman.
Belly? 6?
Yeah. I seen her set a pregnant woman, but only Venezuelan, but plenty of them.
Let me see.
All right, well, it's a capiche in itself.
Taking a quick scan through. Yeah, 6 is a good mark.
Yeah.
Everybody 6.
6 is a good mark.
Belly?
Yeah. Because remember, Anderson call you a queen, and then a queen does eventually make children with a belly, and then after that, when you eat something, the children mash up something, then you start to go and carry the garbage to the dump, right? And when they carry the garbage to the dump, the Kobo will organize now and jump on the truck. The Kobos will jump on the truck and clean up the truck and them Anderson. I don't know. I just remember play with Anderson. Can't take it personal, you know. You can't take it.
6 and playing a long time.
Well, they're easy with them capiche, huh?
Going through our list here. 6
play long time.
Any storm bag. Any port for storm.
We'll take the 6.
All right, so we go with 6. So Andy's capiche is 6 belly.
Yeah.
And he gave reasons for it.
Yeah, Anderson get pregnant. Because when he went across in the dump, he got a lot of things to eat. We don't know why, you know, that when they say that.
You see, Anderson, you bring that on yourself. But that's all right. That's all right. That's all the part of it.
The marks go as follows today.
Yes.
We have number 14, number 36, 24, 11, and Andy's capiche today is number 6.
Yeah.
Good luck to everyone.
Yes, indeed. Of course, courtesy NLCB, the company that loves to give money. But of course, you must have a ticket in order for you to engage and, of course, benefit.
So we go to the break.
Have come to the end?
Yeah,
yes.
we go for the break and come back.
We go for the break, yes.
Trinidad, Trinidad.
Are you ready?
South Trinidad,
Are you ready now?
By public demand, coming to Sapa. Laugh till your belly bust part 2.
This is the encore.
In partnership with Talk City 91.1 FM and TTT Limited. Sunday, 17th May, showtime, 6 p.m. sharp. Come see Victor St. Louis Feld and all his funny friends.
I tell a man the other day, I say, I is the smartest man in the world. He said, how so? I say, ask me any question and I could answer it. He said, how much seconds in a year? I said, 12 seconds. He said, how? I said, January 2nd, February 2nd, March 2nd.
Get a superstar.
Hey, one of my neighbor girl horn him. The man run and drink poison, boy, he dead. You know why? He drink it in the living room.
Louis Spider-Man Antoine, Andrew Friday, The Saint.
I'm trying to play hide and seek in the hospital, but they only keep finding me in ICU.
And to the cast, Damian Melville and Paniska is back. Get your tickets now. General tickets are priced at $200, VIP $350, and Legend Sports Bar, 22 Agar Road, Point Fortin. Senga's Restaurant, number 65, High Street, Sakaria, opposite Massey Stores. Dev's Barbershop, Cookie Pies Bar, Maraval Road, Joanne's Bar, Los Charros, and IslandEtickets.com. It's happening on the 17th of May at 6 p.m. sharp. For more information, call 358-5001. Love till your belly busts.
Is your business experiencing the following symptoms? Not enough customers, low sales, slow cash flow. It's time for your business to be seen and heard by thousands of potential customers inside this new, exciting television and social media feature.
Welcome.
The 1020 with Junior K. Up for this exciting challenge and confident about your business? If you are, the 1020 feature is just for you. It's where you give your customers 10 reasons in 20 seconds why they should shop by you. This fun-filled feature will be captured, packaged, and aired on television and promoted on social media simultaneously. Small, medium, and large businesses call or WhatsApp 764-3378 or 313-4215. Let's feature your business. 1020 with Junior K. It's affordable, effective, and fun.
Your stories, your communities, your country. TTT News is everywhere, on the ground, across Trinidad and Tobago, and on every smart device. TTT News, nightly at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
Know what that's the sound of? The absolute glee and excitement you feel with a hassle-free loan from Island Finance. Weekend in St. Lucia? Give it to yourself. That double-door fridge? Give it to yourself. A short course to help you upskill? Give it to yourself. Apply online or via WhatsApp at 483-8117. And whatever you want, give it to yourself with a hassle-free loan from Island Finance.
Subject to credit approval and documents verification.
Voices you know, trust, and respect are the very best in talk. Talk City 91.1.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago is not closing down Petrotrin.
The Ground Report, the ground report.
I would think that there's been very clear that all the employees of Petrotrin will exit the company. All.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, Trinidad Tobago, we are back. Time check. It's 38 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. I must say a pleasant good morning to all my drivers again. All. Yes, your truckers. As long as there's a truck up. All the private vehicles. The PH drivers. The 8 drivers. The 7-seaters. All the bus drivers and all. All drivers, a pleasant good morning to each and every one of you. And to the passengers in the driver's car. When you all leave there, you want to continue on the Ground Report, don't forget, you have several social media platforms that you all can log on to keep us there. And don't forget, right after us, there's be off the record with Mr. X and Stefan Rees, okay? So you have no reason to change your dial from Talk City 91.1 FM. And don't forget, drivers, if these passengers and them plane, they're telling you change the dial from this station, especially this program. We have one rule only, and they know the rule. Put them out of your maxi, put them out. Put them out of your taxi, put them out. And if them up in a drop, throw them out. But them getting a drop and they want to tell you to change your dial. Don't tell a man not to change the dial at all. But throw them out is just literally, you know, a word of speech, not physical. But that will be against the law. That is trouble. So, and the police ain't excited. None of you all to literally just physically just change the dial drive and only stop all the car. Whole rest of passengers, hold on. Indicator, only pull aside. Right, and then only open all the maxi door, all the taxi door. And then only grab whoever getting that drop free out and throw them out. No, they go and make a report. So don't do that. But you know what I mean? You gotta find a way to throw them out without physically touching them. So just tell them, excuse me. Say they don't want to listen to this program, can you leave my vehicle, please? That's all. Yeah, tell them, can you leave my vehicle, please? Oh boy, people calling in too and they're saying, boy, they really and truly start to love the playway segment. They say they love to the big word segment, the word of the day segment, because they say bring a nice little fun, nice little educational thing too. You know, but they're just trying to sort out how some people they see, like how Lennox see the bitter man who live in, I don't know, boy, they're getting good. So they know to pick mark and thing. Yeah. So let's go into some other issues here. Oh boy. And besides crime in Trinidad and Tobago, the issue of what people want the most and what is not happening. Jobs. They want jobs. Lennox Smith, how long again you think the people might be able to wait? Because what's me, you could give them a hamper, you can do this, you can do that. But at the end of the day,
yeah, that has limited value. It has limited, should I say, utility. But ultimately, a handout cannot equate predetermined, if you want, a reliable source of income on a consistent basis to put, of course, food on the table and to manage all of the expenditure that modern society requires in contemporary or existing Trinidad and Tobago, modern Trinidad and Tobago.
But probably might a little closer to you. So in that way, when you turn, you go here still. Right.
Oh, sorry.
Right.
Yeah. You have to talk about the electricity, you have to talk about rent, you have to talk about food, and we can go on and on. The children have to go to school, books have to be purchased, and you can go on and on. So therefore, no welfare system could accommodate that in any population. Therefore, where you have able-bodied men and women,
the big question now. The big question.
They must be able to get reliable source of income, which of course is in the form, or put another way, before you get that, you have to work, and therefore work jobs. To answer your question directly...
I have a next question. So now, because people are listening, and then the ground report, and it's, you know, we don't leave those turn unturned just so. So what you say that this present government is a grade F when it comes to creating jobs in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time, which the people of Trinidad and Tobago, most and foremost, they need jobs, they want work. So what you say they are failing, but before you answer that, let me take this call. Morning caller, where are you calling from? What's your contribution in the ground report this morning?
Morning, Andy. Morning, Lennox types. Controversy.
Hey, controversy now. And I'll show you my question to Lennox. But let me hear what you call first, and then you might be able to answer it for me too. Which
I didn't hear the question, Lennox. But because I was reading up on something here now. I was just reading an article there where you know, we had we make the this thing at the gas company now. NGC, to say make a profit of 3 something, right? 3 point something.
Over 3 billion, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. I was reading up on something here now, where it is that, now remember Shell negotiating for this Dragon Gas, and I see Shell negotiated for themselves for 80%, and Trinidad was only 20%, right? And if it's so, why it is that we had to be running down this gas deal if our stake is only, it's a big gas deal, and 20% might be a big deal, but
that use we infrastructure. They have to use we infrastructure.
Yeah, but our infrastructure, we don't even own that. This thing, Atlantic LNG, is owned by Shell, BP. That is not our own. We only have I think a 10% stake in, a 30% stake in that infrastructure. You know, it is owned 51% by Shell, right? So these things that people say, why it is we don't have more stakes in these things? I doesn't understand. In our say infrastructure like train one.
All right, but before you move there,
I don't understand these things. How come it in Trinidad, yes, but we still making the least amount of percentage in all these things?
Yeah, but I think I heard that Kamala Prasad Bisesa, the Prime Minister, mentioned that a delegation from Trinidad and Tobago will be going across to Venezuela to negotiate our percentage that NGC owns. Now you are bringing to the table that Shell is negotiating, and I remember people had a problem with that. People were keep asking, how manage Shell and BP and all of them going Venezuela and them negotiating, and evidence there was negotiating on our behalf. Remember, I threw out that I want to believe that there will, because a contract is a contract, and those things was always there, and we have always negotiated. It has always had a negotiation on that, and they will advocate for the same thing. So it's unless the PNM, while running down the Dragon Gas, within the negotiation, because Shell and them would have to get involved anyhow, that it was 20% them accepted. Because I can't understand that.
Everything was non-disclosure. We do have to know, it had no disclosure how the restructuring and all these things is. We don't know, because at the end of the day, while watching these figures here, Shell and BP are majority stakeholders. Yes, we say that Atlantic Energy is in Trinidad, but yet we don't own it. Shell is 51% or something, is the owner of Atlantic LNG. So I believe these oil companies are negotiating for themselves. I think Trinidad, the energy ministry need to get more involved and bring it to the people, because we need transparency in all these things. Because we come in and say, yes, Atlantic make NGC make 3 billion, but yet we might be able to make 6 billion. These things, I think, need to be transparent, so the people could see where something going wrong, where people are not going to say, but why it is these big oil companies, that's what they're doing in Guyana right now. These Exxon are making billions of dollars and giving the country miscue where the raw materials themselves is coming from the country. So the raw materials coming from Trinidad. Yet these big companies exploiting these countries, and they taking the brunt of the money, and we get minuscule. I think that is why I feel Trinidad has been suffering from since Eric Williams days, I think, with these oil companies, because they are taking the brunt of our resources and making billions of it, and we getting minuscule money. And I think this is where Saudi Arabia and all them have the advantage, because they're using their own companies, their own countries and their companies and things to make money. And where we always at the bottom end of the stick and getting minuscule money, when the major bond, I feel we're supposed to have 51%, and the other company is supposed to be small because our resources. I don't understand this thing, you know. I don't understand why we have to be getting so little money, and these oil giants taking majority of the stakes and going with it, and we just happy with the little minuscule we gain when it's our resources they're taken from. I know
but supposing that you are wrong. So what you talking about there is facts. That is 80% of the Dragon Gas will be shared.
No, I saw an article saying that what it was. I don't know if that is in black and white yet. They probably black and white, but the article was saying this is what Shell is negotiating for: 80% for the Dragon Gas for them, and 20% for Trinidad. 20% alone for Trinidad, and I don't know if it's in, and I think it's in Venezuela side. I don't think it's Trinidad side, but I think it's Venezuela side of the gas. That's how they're negotiating it. 80 for them. So I think we really need to get involved in these negotiations and let them come to the country, because I don't understand why these things have to be so secretive. I don't know if it's because of all right, Shell didn't want to know what BP doing and BP want to know how much Shell getting and all this kind of thing. I don't know if that is why they want to be so secretive about these things. But I think Trinidad's supposed to be making more money than these 10% and 20% and them kind of thing when it's our resources they're taken from. That's just my take on it. I mean, every little thing counts. But I think we should supposed to be getting more percentage, and these oil companies just taking too much of our own resources and going with the money, with our U.S., where we're supposed to be making more U.S.
All right, and before you go, do you believe that the government of Trinidad and Tobago, this present government of Trinidad and Tobago, are failing when it coming to employment, creating employment, which is the most burning thing right now, whether the young people...
But right now, remember the last program they had, where they say they only hire about 200 people pay them yet, They finished paying out 200 they hired since last year. That is the only employment they've created so far for 200 when they fire so much of people. And so far, this is our next term coming here, our next months coming here, and they hire nobody. So they're feeling where there's employment. Yes, they're feeling where that's bad. And I think that is one of the major things when local government comes around. If they ain't step up the game on that, they're going to lose plenty points with that. Just that employment thing alone. Because remember we used to say, when we have rallies and things, it's the CPAP people are making them come the rallies. It's the URP people are making them come the rallies and things, right? And these same people said, come, go the rallies, but vote for UNC. Now they probably went the rallies and vote for UNC and they lost their work. I just say it, I just say it.
Right, but we don't want to focus just on the URP and the CPAP only because we're talking jobs.
They should make They should make something more sustainable. This is their plans. I know this is what they want to do, but I know the problem right now in Trinidad is not really giving people jobs, It's going to give people the jobs, is the money to pay them when they give people the jobs.
Okay,
I feel that is the biggest problem right now, is to pay the people when they give them. Because if you have a little program where you hire 200 people and you couldn't pay them, much as to have a bigger program or to find people to put in jobs. And I feel money is the major thing right now. Why they're not hiring people? I don't know where they could cut back. Well, look,
then let me ask you a question.
3 billion, take piece of that 3 billion, a little something, and help out the lower class in getting the jobs that the people need.
Right, but NGC money might be to pay some billion, some loan or something. But otherwise,
we always notice.
Right. Well, then, if it's so, and you believe that the issue is not that the government not creating job or if it go, they could, but it's the money's issue. Well, then do you believe that this present government should come out plain and tell the people of Trinidad and Tobago what is the loggerhead with the risk of foreign investors or potential foreign investors hearing a government stating that they're broken, they have no money?
And
what's your thoughts? What are your thoughts?
Yeah. That is another thing, because remember, you don't want to have that outlook there, because we're looking for investors. So
you think they should come out and tell the people, or it have to go as it is?
That is a kind of ticklish thing, because remember, when they read the budget is an estimate of what they want to spend. Not that they have that money put on there for them to spend, or revenue to collect, is an estimate. And with this estimate now, it comes like how the local government and the thing of them fighting up here and saying they don't have no money for this, and it's the same thing. They don't have the money to put out to give the regional corporations. Yet they tell the regional corporations, well, this is what those on the news, they tell the regional corporations, pay from the money all they have, and they have give them back that money because they say it wasn't allocated. And yes, we know in the budget, Tanku did say they did not allocate anything for the public servants back pay as yet. So I don't know if in the midterm coming up, they will allocate money to give back the regional corporations for them to do the... So I believe this thing is a whole money issue in Trinidad and Tobago right now. And to get investment, and that is why you see most of the things that people are saying is private government and the private person that put out the money, because the government don't have the money to put out for our public venture.
Well, I'm asking something, so we can clearly say that the former government, PNM government, lead this country broken.
Yeah. Governments, past governments, they keep depleting the revenue, mismanaging the revenue, right? Even in the UNC time, the last regime,
my question is, so what do you believe?
But PNM was there most of the time, right? I understand It started from way back in Eric Williams days where they mismanaging this country. Because we were supposed to be in a better place.
Why are asking that? And right, why asking that? Yes, government go with various things, but the UNC left about a couple of billions of US dollars where we could be mined. Lennox Smith always talk about in the Heritage and Civilization Fund, and then untouched cash within the banking system and all those various things. You know, so we're going now on the grounds of. All right, when the PNM got the country was on absolutely good standings. It had money, everything was in order, and thing. So now the big question is, did the PNM left the country broken today?
No, it's not that sometimes we leave the country broken. You have to take in consideration inflation, right? We may have 100,000 in the bank, but 100,000 last year will not have the same value as 100,000 this year. So yes, they may leave let me say they leave 2 million in the country, but 2 million 5 years ago and 2 million now is not the same as before because of inflation, everything going up. So here we may look at the UNC leave the not making excuses. Yeah, we UNC leave $1 billion in the fund and all that thing, but that $1 billion back then may not be the same $1 billion because of inflation, may not be the same thing where we have to pay more money for goods and services.
Thank you very much. Lennox Smith, I think you may answer. I'd rather you to answer, and it's not a purpose of biasness, it's not a purpose of looking to pick side. I not know picking side or being unbalanced and all them kind of bacchanal thing. At the end of the day, to my knowledge, that the country was on very, very good standing. This government, well, the former government before the PNM take power, left something like how much $1 billion in billions in?
Yeah, over 12 billion US in reserves, apart from the Heritage and Civilization Fund. Yes, and by the time they come back into office, it was reduced to about 4 billion.
Right. So,
but we have to go for a break first. And when we go for the break, of course, we'll come back and we will extrapolate and look at this situation as far as employment opportunities or the lack thereof. We go for the break, and when we come back, more.
The plays that shake the arenas. The stories that move a nation.
Are we in for a super over? I've got to go quick! I've got to go quick!
From football to cricket, track to tennis, every win, every rivalry, every headline. This is where Trinidad and Tobago come for sports.
TTT Sports with Nasira Mohammed, daily at 7 p.m.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union, your future is safe with us.
But Johnny, how come your house is twice the size of mine, but my bill is twice the cost of yours? Johnny, what's going on, boy? How your bill so low? How your bill so low? A conserving energy, a switch your LED, at the stun of the AC, and a saving real money is our responsibility for a brighter TNT. Cut the waste and you would see. Why everybody asking me? They asking how you been so low? How you been so low? TN Tech, powering the nation into the next generation.
From hard-hitting current affairs to real community issues and the stories that matter most to you, this is where Trinidad and Tobago comes to talk. Any views or opinions expressed on the Ground Report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Oh boy, it's 2 minutes to the hour. But I know Lennox Smith could kind of start to warm up that there, where we will go for the 8 o'clock news. But that is the burning issue on everybody. It is what it is. On the Ground Report, we have to say it as it is. People saying the place harder. They are telling you what people are saying. They're saying things are better under the PNM. You know, so I want to be able for we to have a program to be able to explain these type of talk that are banding about all over to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. People saying, well, at least there was working. At least I was getting money. That is on the URPC, PEP side, all this kind of other side forestries. Right. Besides them, people are saying that at least things was happening. You know, so...
No. I am in the belly of the beast, so to speak, on Nelson Street, Duncan Street, George Street, etc. And that is a pellucid fact. And wherever you go, you are hearing that. The issue is, however, how you manage, because, of course, when you make the comparison as you did, they're saying that in spite of the challenges, harsh as it were, that at least the ordinary Joe was able to get through these make-work programs $1 and kept, very important, kept micro and, in other words, the shopkeeper and the meat seller and the grocery seller within the community living. They could have still trust. Today, no trust, because they know that there is no makeshift subsistence wages that exist in the community, right, because of the lack of these programs. But we go for the break. And
seriously understated the scale of the ordeal.
The reporting, which said basically it was 7 months that she had been abducted for. It is more than 7 years this woman has been away from her family. She was taken by the mother from the mother's house. She thought she was going to get a maid job, and it turned out to be slavery reenacted.
According to Mr. Moody, the woman was taken from her mother's home under the promise of employment as a domestic worker. Instead, she alleged she endured years of forced labor and physical abuse. Another viral video of a man being beaten led Mr. Moody to begin an investigation. He said that with the help of another activist, the man and later the woman were rescued.
Vicky Rampasad was very, very instrumental in working with me and getting information. She went viral on it, condemning it at every level, and people started sending in videos, stories of that family and what they were doing to others. So I took the gentleman first to the police station. There was a lot of hesitation.
Mr. Moody alleges that efforts to file police reports were initially met with resistance, requiring intervention at senior levels of the police service.
Police officers are not trained in basic first response for medical issues, even psychological first aid and dealing with people at that level. We have a real limitation in the police service. I am not condemning the present commissioner who's trying his best. I'm not condemning Gary Griffith who did his best. What I'm saying is that police officers need to be trained in detail with dealing with these cases. My biggest fear, and still is that woman getting the proper counseling.
Now, with the involvement of Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, and the councillor Shanti Budram, efforts are underway to place the woman in a safe house. In other news, 200 people were presented with wheelchairs thanks to the generosity of businesswoman and philanthropist Hannah Janora. The annual distribution ceremony was held in Port of Spain over the weekend, where Minister of the People, Social Development and Family Services, Vandana Mohit, praised Ms. Janora for her decades of service and commitment to improving lives. Since the initiative began more than a decade ago, Ms. Janora, owner of Janora's Custom Design Limited, has donated approximately 1,400 wheelchairs. Minister Mohit commended Ms. Janora for her philanthropic and corporate social responsibility efforts.
One can't always do these things alone. We, of course, require corporate support. And today we say, on behalf of Trinidad and Tobago, Hannah Janora, we thank you. We thank you sincerely. Of course, you don't do this alone. You do this with the support of all of your support staff, your family, and everyone close to you. And on behalf of TNT, we say thank you for this support to our country.
While highlighting the necessity of civil-social partnerships, Minister Mohit encouraged recipients to value the provision of the wheelchairs.
we can't work without civil society. And they go beyond every barrier they face. When we get these items, appreciate it, treat it as something you have gotten to help you and to allow you to live freely. Keep it, and do not sell it, do not get rid of it. Appreciate it, love it, and remember Miss Hannah Janura.
In sport, following their big win in the 2026 National Basketball Club Championship, Bologna Pacers head coach Christopher Jackson Charles gave full credit to his young squad while acknowledging two men who played a major role in the lead-up to the finals.
So based on the talent level that they had, we know we come and play basketball that there's no way that supposed to beat us. It was a good game won by them, I had to give them credit, but after that, our players, we mold together. We played for Peter Alexis because he couldn't play because of unfortunate circumstance. And that's what Bologna Pacers is all about. Those guys, they play for Peter Alexis and Jai Lewis. And it's a team. That's what the team is about. Most of those guys are under 23. And that's the future of Trinidad and Tobago basketball.
And that was your TTT News Update. I'm Carrie Roberts. From all of us here, have a great day.
That was TTT News on Talk City 91.1 FM.
Closer regional collaboration in the energy sector was a key focus for Trinidad and Tobago at the recent Guyana Energy Conference. Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, Dr. the Honorable Rudal Munilal, says the visit yielded meaningful discussions with regional and international stakeholders. He shares the main outcomes from those engagements.
Recently, we participated in the Energy Conference and Supply Chain Expo in Guyana, where officials of the ministry in Trinidad and Tobago and the state enterprise sector had very productive meetings with the leadership of Chevron, Exxon Mobil. We had meetings with the Energy Chamber in Guyana. We had very good meetings with other parties interested in the refinery, including interests from Saudi Arabia and, of course, Africa and other players from the United States. Emerging from that as well was a very, very important discussion with the government of Guyana in terms of collaboration and cooperation with Trinidad and Tobago. And they have acknowledged the role that Trinidad and Tobago has played over the decades and the increasing contribution that Trinidad and Tobago must play as we move forward in the energy landscape of the Southern Caribbean.
Dr. Munilal notes that strengthening ties with Guyana and other regional players is critical as Trinidad and Tobago positions itself as a key energy hub in the Caribbean.
This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
Your world moves fast, so do we. TTT News brings you the people, events, and issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay ahead. TTT News, every night at 7. TTT News, committed, accurate, relevant.
From the road to the radio, Talk City 91.1. Any views or opinions expressed on the ground report are solely those of the hosts and callers and do not represent the views, policies, or official position of Talk City 91.1, its management, or affiliates.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are back. Time check. It's 8 minutes past the hour of 8 o'clock. And you're listening to the Ground Report right here on Talk City 91.1 FM. And you're also listening to us and viewing us on our several social media platforms. So again, Trinidad and Tobago, we're going back to the issue of employment in Trinidad and Tobago. Again, for some of you that are writing up and will say, well, the PNM this or that, however it go. Or trying to convince me that I maybe don't know what I'm saying, or maybe coming down on the government. No. Again, I'm being a devil's advocate, but I'm being a devil's advocate based on the talk being on the ground and what people are saying out there. And in one thing, in some way or the other, for the present government to be able to address that big issue or talking point that is wrong. Because again, people want employment. It could be a year coming, right? I want to know if it would be damn if we do, if the government do, or damn if they don't, based on if they come out to tell us it could have a bad effect when it coming to foreign investors and all them various things. And as a government, it could be irresponsible that they coming out to say, well, the country have no money. But then when you're watching, you're hearing things there too being said, whether it be in works or whether it be under the new makeshift program, which is two. One is under works and one is under the local government ministry, where people are saying that they haven't been getting pay and all them various things, which showing I don't want to believe that a government will have money and throughout a program after a lot of unemployment and a lot of unemployed people, will throughout a program where they don't have the money or they wouldn't, or they deliberately wouldn't pay because people will look bad. Between me and you, the government will look bad if that is it. So I doubt that the government will deliberately go in, open the this program will take 200 and something by 200 and something or if it go. And today it's showing whereby people is old and all them various things. And the government itself deliberately no. So what is really the pros, the cons, and the truth behind this whole thing? Because at the end of the day, we could talk what, say what, however it go. A hungry man is an angry man. And is their supporters of the government on the whole too are crying for work. So I really would like to hear what is Lennox Smith take on that. Again, this is in no way of attacking the government or in no way to attack anything or anybody. This is the talk out there. This is what's going on. And on everybody's lips is jobs. They need work. Lennox Smith, is the government failing? Is the government failing?
Before the break, of course, I was into the area where that is a reality. And how do you address that? Well, I will defer that and let me get into the substantive areas of reality. We also have to factor in that local government elections is coming up next year. We already, of course, almost quarter of the year already. That comes faster than you think. And therefore, there's limited time. There's also the factor that if a population perceives you to be harsh unnecessarily, then, of course, you will also pay a political price. Because at the end of the day, you depend on the masses in order to be where you are, in spite of all of your policies and a good intention, in order to develop Trinidad and Tobago. So those are realities. The NL found out that the very hard way. And so our job is to avoid, or put another way, have this administration avoid the pitfalls of the past. When the issue, and I was around when the issue of potentially at the time closing down URP, for example, and I made it very, very clear, and I projected or anticipated or prophesied what is happening today all over those communities that would have otherwise been a beneficiary.
You're answering the question, are the government failing? Yes, because there are real people calling in. What is your thought? Are they failing?
Yeah. Well, I come in here, I'm saying that the government may be the subject of or the product of bad advice, because I have said that if your policy is one of not having those criminal elements be part and parcel and benefiting, then you cannot throw the bathtub and the water and everything out, because there are those who are genuinely dependent on these subsistence wages, and you have to find a way to give it to them. And I had said very, very, very sincerely, well, dole out, put a sum of money together and dole it out. In that way, you go directly to the people, and at the same time, you don't lose any political, let's say, currency as a consequence, because they will see that genuine effort would have been made to assist. But if you do it in the way that it was done, and everybody is now a victim or have to sacrifice unnecessarily, and some can do it more than others because the is a case of you can't find things to eat, then you will have a problem, as you have just identified, and as we are seeing on right now in these communities.
All the lines are ringing.
So we want to open lines, so let's only have to make it short and sweet. So Trinidad and Tobago, Lennox,
I just don't want them to believe that, listen, we are biased and that is a political thing. It is a human thing, and therefore is a reality that we have to pragmatically address. Go ahead.
Nice. So Trinidad and Tobago again, what's your thoughts when it coming to jobs? Do you believe the government is failing, and if, in what direction to you they are failing, and what do you believe they can do in order to bring that changes? Because in real, people are also saying that in the times of hard times, that they have to be facing various taxes at this point in time. Like, for instance, the bars are saying, well, the bar business is dying out.
Closing now.
Yeah.
Closing now. And then, some people ain't paying the bar license.
So again, this is things that we have to do in order not to be like the PNM, where you can't tell the emperor what's going on, and then the train, well, hey, you've seen the crack in the train line, you've seen that train going and collide, you've seen it may run off the road, but it have a possibility that they don't have to. But again, what's your thoughts? Go ahead on your side, Snipes. Please only make it short and sweet. Send only voice short and sweet.
Good morning.
Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is Malcolm X, short and sweet. Andy, Mighty K, Lennox Smith, and Mr. Snipe, listen to this. The employment too. We have to look at the private sector supposed to help out the employment. I want to report this morning. It have some business. They have people cashing, selling, and weighing food and doing everything. They could take a little more staff. These Chinese grocery way own all over Trinidad and Tobago that only hiring Spanish and not local. So not everything, because half a week. I don't know if Lennox all ever work in grocery and all leave school or all work in store. Everybody wasn't government workers. One. The next one is people who working as nurse, working in the private hospital, and then they're working in the government hospital, where we could help some of the people who study in nurses. So it has plenty ways and means employment, and then you see technology too cutting off a lot of employment. So we have to look at a country basis, not an election. That is only for local government, but what happens after local government? People have bills to pay and we still have to eat and drink. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Next caller. Go ahead, Snipes.
Good morning. Morning.
Make it short and sweet, caller. All right, let me take it on my side. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Good morning to the Magnificent Tree. Now, Mr. Lennox, I want all to understand this. What is really employment? All you have to understand that first, right?
But again, before you explain anything, do you believe the government is failing? Answer the question. Then you could go into they're not failing.
No, so they are not failing.
All right.
And I'm not sure why.
So do we have a unemployment crisis in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time?
No.
It don't have an unemployment crisis.
And I'm going to tell you why.
All right, wait. So you saying it don't have an unemployment crisis in Trinidad and Tobago?
No.
All right, so you are saying it have enough work for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago at this point in time?
Listen,
yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, the government will have put things in place for everybody in Trinidad and Tobago. Right? No, and I will tell you why. When they close down Petrotrin, right? Follow me. Petrotrin, that was something what had employment. When they close down Arcelor Metal, that is thing had employment. When they close down the agriculture sector, that had employment. Cocoa and coffee, that had employment. Rice, that had employment. CPEC and URP were just a thing for getting vote. And just having the people, just like during water, it's just your nose above it. And if you only go down, you're drunk. That is not employment. That is just only getting people work to get vote. And having them getting poorer and poorer every day.
Thank you very much. Next caller.
That is what I think.
Thank you very much. Again, we go into the nitty-gritty. You see the excuses, the talk, or if it go.
Let's go to the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Good morning.
Good morning, Lennox Smith and Andy Williams and Brother Nigel Sniper. Are you all hearing me?
Loud and clear. Go ahead.
Well, Andy, I want to thank you this morning for putting the program in a direction such as this. This is something that is really good to do. Anyhow, now, you just play a clip like this to do Karan really. It's the students fight very hard to keep government in office. And this is what we delivered this morning. We are fighting hard to keep the country together.
Right, and so let me get to the point. Let me get to the point, because remember, time flying, there's a lot of people want to make the contribution.
Right.
Do you believe the government is failing? And if they are failing, why? Why they're failing? No money? Why? Go ahead, let's hear.
No, it's a clear indication. It's all about financing these programs and these situations. And the country end up in a situation if the CNN did return to office, we would have ended up with an economy that was worse. It would have been worse than how Jamaica was in the late 70s into the 80s. You understand? So this government, they have a lot of work ahead, and the only solution to this problem is to do a forensic audit into the expenditure of Dr. Rowley between 2015 to 2025 and make sure it bears fruit for the development of this country, because this country can never come out of this hole it's in right now just so by paying tax and taxing the population. And make it shorter. Go on.
Thank you very much. Because my whole thoughts on it again, the go short and sweet with me. Here it is. It will come across that this government is failing, but again, I as a smart person, positive and know that it's based on the economy they meet. And I don't believe that the government could come out and tell the people exactly what time it is or how it go. But do we have an unemployment crisis in Trinidad and Tobago? Yes or no? Do you believe the government is failing? Yes or no? And if
we have a caller,
what they can do about it?
Good morning.
A blessed day to you all.
Morning.
The people of this country, the citizens of this country, is failing them own self. Foreigners would come and get work anywhere, but everybody want government work. Ain't all you get work too? When all you're working, and if people do like you all, every single citizen who doing nothing could make a fine garden, bank up and make garden, go back to the land, and then we start to plant and feed ourselves. But we only want government. This thing what they call URP and CPEP is just old talk.
All right. Next caller. At the end of the day, this is not only about CPEP. Let me take on my side here. Go ahead, Ms. Santa Cruz.
Good morning, Andy, Lennox, Nigel, and to everybody out there. The government is not failing, right? Because I have seen the government, and I'm sure everybody has seen it. A lot of things have been done. Andy, they came in with a challenge. They came in with a big challenge into government. We heard Stuart Young on the campaign trail saying that they were practicing for 9 years and 7 months. So why is it this government is only there for 11 months and 18 days, and people must say that they are failing? The PLM has failed more So wait, let me ask you something, Andy. Let me ask you a question, right? They want to give this government a fail grade. So then they should have given the PNM an A grade for ghost gangs. Is that what they want? Put up a set of ghost gangs to show that people are being employed. And I want to ask a question before I go. If a child, I mean, yes, the government is moving a bit slow because of the economic challenges. And Lennox, this will reach right up Lennox Alley, right? If it is that a child is slow in school, would you say that that child is a failure? I ask a question with a question. Thanks a lot.
Lennox Smith, answer the question there quick. Let's continue the call.
Well, of course not. Of course not. I wouldn't say that. But if it is that's as far as that is concerned. But if it is that I am getting some subsistence because of the lack of education, the lack of opportunities, the lack of because of social conditions, etc., and I'm getting something from the state to sustain my existence, and that has been taken away. It is very difficult for me not to be very, very concerned.
Next
because
caller.
I mean, you're talking about starvation.
Go ahead, caller. Again.
Good morning. Good morning.
Short and sweet, Granny. Yes. Do you believe that the government at this point, the issue out there on the ground, it is about so maybe. Forget about it, and it's not only about URP or CPEP or this.
And it is not, the failure that we are referring to is very specific. We are talking about in the area of availability of employment.
Availability of employment.
Specifically, not generally, right? Because there are a lot of things that we could give A+ for. Go ahead.
No. We're not asking if the government is going very good. We're asking here, do you believe that the government is failing when it coming to Lennox Smith? You put it down where people can understand again.
The generation of employment opportunities, having regard to what transpired, right? Yeah.
Right. Go ahead.
That's all we want to know.
That you have to help yourself. The government is not failing. If a doctor waiting for his contract to renew after internship and he's selling lettuce by the road, and everybody knows he's a doctor, why is it people cannot go to the garden, buy something, stand up by the road and sell, stand up in front of the house and sell? There is no shortage employment. That federal agency need people.
Granny.
People working there, they need
Granny, and I being straight with you, I know a lot of people doing that in every community at this point in time. We are seeing a little table with vegetables, this, that selling. And
you have to wait.
It's staying there because people don't have money to buy it.
Let me tell you something. You could have a friend, you could have a family, you could go to an MP and they would buy it for you, don't give you the money because people want to eat and drink higher than their means. They want to dress better higher than their means.
All right.
They want to go to all the different things.
Again, it means they are off on the question, Lennox Smith. Could you please pose that question again? Because it's not about people being lazy or this or that. Many people in Trinidad, but I and all of them hustling. Things hard. The fact is things hard. And in order for people to buy, people must be employed. And the employment don't necessarily mean the government employment. Employment also means Trinidad and Tobago must understand that we have a country, whether it be private sector and all. Our country depends heavily on government spending, the private sector included, in order to create that heat and the economics that the country need at this point in time. The private sector can't overhire people neither, because things not happening for some of them, for most of them at this point in time. This now is to open out each and every one of our eyes, whereby I would like, honestly, because I understand, but more of the government members of parliament and ministers to be able to come out and really address this situation. It's bad. right? And you know what? It's a twofold too, because for them to come out and do that, it's to tell foreign investors, which we need to, that the country broke now. You can't do that. I selling fish. I can't tell a man my fish go spoil the next 2 days or it rotten. So and expect people to buy my fish. So the government really and truly between a rock and a real hard place, boy. And to see why I bring up this is because I find the people really and truly being real unfair to the government. Real unfair. Bypassing that one, they're only in power less than a year. 2, it had no money. Because I give examples of people that are unpaid or supposed to be paid and technically is owed. But the whole talk is out there, Trinidad and Tobago. Every corner you go. And down to East Indian people talking the same talk. That things hard. So Lennox, could you please coin that question again? And let's stop putting European CPEP. That is not the end at all. The know it all end at all. It have many other ways that jobs can be created outside of European CPEP. So let me not carry there in order to justify or to put us in a bubble. We have to think outside the box. It is what it is. Lennox Smith asks that potent question.
No, Andy, it will be a contradiction if we do not deal with how the economy of Trinidad and Tobago has been structured from time immemorial.
Correct.
There is something called the PSIP, the Public Sector Investment Program, that is part and parcel of the budgetary exercise every year. And that portion of the budget goes, of course, to the acquisition of goods and services, which, of course, would benefit the private sector, and they, in turn, are able, of course, not only to keep their business going, but to generate employment opportunities and generate wealth, etc., etc. So that has happened. Now, if that suddenly was discontinued or was reduced for one reason or another, you find that the entire complexion of the economy certainly will take a different tone. The issue here really is the subsistence, the make work programs that was totally taken away, because that's a large percentage, whether you like it or not. You're talking about thousands of persons. You're not talking about 100 persons. Thousands of persons who are not connected to no crime and gangsters, etc., and found themselves in that situation. And I want to condition it by saying that subsistence amount, and I break it down to $2,200, about $2,100 every year, that is merely part of the 12-month income, or to cover the 12 months of income that a typical person would need in order to survive 12 months in a year. The point I am making here, they don't depend on that totally, but it is a low-hanging fruit that is part of the basket of income that they would use to subsist or to get them along during a 12-month period. That's all I'm saying. And when that is taken away, because maybe for justifiable reason, the crime, etc., you have to find a way to supplement that, because it has other implications. The parlor and the shop and the grocery, the owners, these businesses depend on these persons. They have something called a trust week, where, because they know the person is employed and they're getting the fortnight money at X time, they are going to give them credit so they are able to survive. And because they know the money sure, because over time a relationship would have been developed between the customer and the business, so the business will know who to take chance with.
But we have two callers, we have some callers.
Listen, that doesn't exist. Right on Prince Street there, etc. Several, well, and on Frederick Street as well, several bars and meat shops and so on are literally closing down. Because that synergy, that symbiotic is maybe the right term, symbiotic relationship, they exist for their mutual benefit, no longer exists.
Right, but
in the recent past.
Gentlemen, before you all continue, we're due for our half-past-the-hour break. We're 5 minutes past that time, so I suggest we take the break and come back.
All right, and then of course the word for today. I don't want to give up that too. People can consult your dictionaries, whether solid or electronic. But we go for the break. And when we come back...
Join Eternal Light and Word of Life Communities for a fun-filled Goshen Day fundraiser on Sunday, May 3rd from 7:30 until 6 p.m. at St. Charles Borromeo RC Church, Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna. The day begins with Mass at 7:30 a.m., followed with activities like bingo, hoopla, pick a number, and much, much more. Visit the Health and Wellness booth and check out the variety of plants and books on sale. At Mama's Kitchen, get your delicious treats. Come out and support Goshen Family Fundraiser on Sunday, May 3rd from 7:30 a.m. until 6 p.m. at St. Charles Borromeo RC Church, Eastern Main Road, Tunapuna. Looking forward to seeing you there.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of services that's accessible and reliable. Here to show you just what service is. Helping where we can, but with a smile.
Police Credit Union. Your future is safe with us.
Your news, anytime, anywhere. Join us nightly at 7. TTT News. Committed, accurate, relevant.
Every morning begins with a story. The headlines you need. The voices you trust. The conversations shaping our nation. Welcome to Trinidad and Tobago Today, where your day starts informed and inspired. News that matters to you. Conversations that spark new ideas. Stories that move Trinidad and Tobago forward. Tune in weekdays, Monday to Friday at 6 a.m. or join the conversation on any smart device at TNT Today Show. Trinidad and Tobago Today. Start here, exclusively on TTT.
This is Destra, and right now you're listening to Talk City 91.1. Keep it low.
The Ground Report with Andy Williams and Lennox Smith.
Yeah, Trinidad and Tobago, we are back. Time check, because I want to give you all the opportunity. I believe I have to coin the question even different, a little more different, because again, it's not about that. We know that the PNM, the last government misappropriated, spent a lot of money, borrowed a lot of money, left the country in a mess, however it go. Right? What we want to deal with is the now. The last government don't do all what it was to do already. Right? But at this point in time, we have the present government that have to pick up the slack. We are talking about in short-term employment at this point in time, right? So if I could coin it in a better, because watch, every day you go to the parts place for vehicle parts, it's going up. Every day you go to the groceries going up. All kind of things going up. Jobs is like scarce like that. It is what it is. We all cannot do like what Granny say. How much are we going to plant? Put something by the road and go out there. People don't even have money to buy the products we plant. And in order to make that investment, too, we have to have the money to make that investment too. Whether it be to buy some tomato trees or some lettuce or this, and then nobody cares, only know how it is. When it comes to pests, whether it be the lotus or the this, or the African snail, or the that, So come on, we can't cushion everything.
But Andy, let's face it, because we have to also be optimistic and futuristic as well. And I'm talking about not too far. Of course, we will forego the. I'll forego the word of the day today, because I think this is too important to divert attention away from it. And that is, we are seeing all the signs that things are going to improve.
Yeah, we've seen it.
I say by June of this year, or at least we will get some indication from the annual review
by
of
2027
of the budget. Yes, so I am certain of it. But
all the signs
we also have to avoid the pitfalls, and there is a intrinsic nexus or connection. Let's face it, between the quality of life that people would have been plunged into, whether it's negative or positive, and the political fortunes of either the incumbent or those who are vying for office. And the PNM has a propaganda machinery that will exploit this situation, and our job is to at least bring the information to those in authority and maybe prefer some solutions as to how to make certain that what I consider to be inhospitable and the proven mismanagement does not return to managing the affairs of Trinidad and Tobago again. And therefore, it is out of an abundance of caution. I cannot overemphasize. Out of an abundance of caution, we are saying that there are solutions. Their solutions will be coming. But what is transpiring as we speak today and in the very, very recent past, I'm talking about weeks, clearly is providing a situation where people would be very, very disappointed. They will be, of course, hurt, and you are hearing all kinds of recriminations and animosity that I believe could have been avoided to a large extent, rather than, of course, the full-blown scenario that we are now exposed to. But as I said, by June, I expect by the time the revision of the budget would have taken place, having regard to all of the economic circumstances, all the economic indicators suggest that we are going to, of course, get a windfall in the not too distant future, which will, of course, render these days historically irrelevant.
Right. So, Trinidad and Tobago, what could the government do short term while we expect betterments and better things to happen in the long run? All indicators again are showing, what I am all seeing, by 2027, Trinidad and Tobago will be flowing with money. Flowing with money. They will have a lot of job creations, everything, right? But for now, what advice could you give the government of Trinidad and Tobago when it coming to, at this point in time, cushioning the talk out there that is based on unemployment, and that have nothing to do with URP alone, because people are looking for employment all over. Go ahead, caller. Short and sweet. Go ahead, caller.
Job creations, everything, right? But for now,
go ahead, caller. What advice can you give the government?
My advice, Andy, good morning to you all. My advice is to go and do a forensic on the $3.6 billion that cannot be accounted for, and do like what the Japanese do in the 80s when they had the recession, and they were the first countries to come out of it. They gave the people more spending power. So that money could help. Yeah, we had a talk and thing.
All right, thank you very much. Let me just get to the point. If you have any on that side, Snipes, you can go ahead. So let the lines open, we're taking calls. Next caller, morning.
Yes, we have one. Go ahead, caller.
Well, the first thing we can do, we can tell the people that $3.6 billion is not missing. We can tell them that. But one of the biggest problems we have in this country is white-collar crime. And the way to curb white-collar crime, since 15 years ago, Mr. Manning said, was to implement the TTRA, because you're going to have a more stringent look as to how businesses are functioning, how much people putting money in their pocket and not paying their taxes. So that would be important in dealing with this situation. It's important for the whole country going forward. So unless we treat with the aspect of white-collar crime, which the minister say he know how to do it. All he have to do is put more people in BIR and everything going to be fine. Well, partners are waiting to see that, because at the end of the day, it would have to mean that for the last 15 years, we've had some very foolish Minister of Finance, and they couldn't figure that out. So let me just say this to you again. If we set up a proper tax structure where people are paying their legitimate section of taxes in this country, not only would you find taxes universally going down, like Mr. Manning said, but you'd be able to have enough money to run the country comfortably. So white-collar crime, deal with that.
All right, so you are right. Next call on my side here. Go ahead, caller. What advice can you give the government short term in order to deal with the unemployment situation that we have at this point in time, that everybody's balling, and unemployment is across the board? Because I don't know URP work. I don't know CPEP work. It have people want work too. Go ahead, caller.
Good morning to you, Andy Williams, Lennox Smith, and Nigel Sniper. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Lennox Smith, I agree with you 100%. We have to put URP and CPEP and things like that, because the fact remains that those vulnerable people, by shutting down that, it affects the domestic affairs. And that is why today you're hearing people speaking out. Andy Williams, I give you 100% support toward this segment of the program, especially with part nobody not bashing the government, nobody not condemning the government, nobody not saying anything bad about the government, but the citizens and the callers can advise the government. So I give 10 out of 10. That is what UNC people do. UNC people, activists, speak about the things that matters in life. UNC activists don't stay quiet. And my solution and my advice to the government is to split URP into 4. That is too much work for one person. There are too much hungry people in this country. Social Development Ministry, split Social Development Ministry in 4. East, West, North, and South. This is the first time in the history of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, after we spent 10 years under the PNM, we have the most amount of poor people in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And yes, in every ministry, in every member of parliament constituency, the MPs and them could find innovative ways to create employment in their constituency. And wise people might think they're bashing the government. Nobody not bashing the government. No, because today, tomorrow, it have an election. Today, tomorrow, it have an election. Every one of the people that's speaking today will go right back and vote for the United National Congress. But when people keep a blind eye on the things that matters in life, that creates destruction. That creates separation. You're supposed to be able to speak independent. And remember, the Honorable Prime Minister, our Prime Minister, the UNC Prime Minister say, leave the people them let us speak. That is how we're going to know what is going on. Why URP cannot split in 4? Why social development cannot split in 4? So
thank you very much. We get the point. Right? Again, it's not about bashing the UNC.
We have a caller on this side. Sorry about that.
Again, because I want to make it clear. This segment is not about bashing the UNC government in any way. This segment is for the people of Trinidad and Tobago to talk out and give a constructive idea to the government. How can they deal with unemployment short term at this point in time? Right?
We have a caller.
Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Andy, my advice to the government right now for this unemployment, you see all the public sector and the government workers, we are back pay, all of us and everybody are back pay. A lot of people need jobs. Put a hold to all them back pay, because at the end of the day, them have a job, they get a salary and take that back pay money and create some short-term jobs until better deals come. Thank you.
Very good. That is a very good idea. So we are trying to advise the government, how could we go about trying to get employment whether short term, I don't believe in the dole thing where Lennox Smith talking about. No. Let them, it have people with that, yes, may have to go about that. It has social development ministry for that. I believe at least that'll work for like 2 hours. Clean and drain in the community. Something. But just giving people money, no. No, that'll work for it. Right. Somebody sent a statement here that has continued to disagree with, right? Totally. Which is Jenny C. Paul. Yep. Right? And Jenny C. Paul is saying, Andy, so how come thousands, and I would like Lennox Smith to address this, please, too. Because, again, it's bad when people feeling, well, Trinidad and Tobago citizens lazy, and that's why they're suffering now. Jenny is saying, Andy, so how the thousands of Venezuelans working in and mining their families, opening businesses, and sending money to Venezuela, Trini's too lazy and only want handouts to work for 2 hours and get pay. Lennox Smith, you heard it. It's that the reason.
Well, two things. All of them are not in fact working. That's a pellucid fact. The second thing is that they are preferred to let's say, first and foremost, these businesses would have reduced the amount of workers that they would normally have. That's the first thing. The second thing is that those persons are prepared to be exploited to work for below minimum wage, and in fact would not have the level of expense as the typical Trinbagonian living here would have had, and therefore they are because their needs are less as demanding as that of these as the typical Trinbagonian. It happens in every society. Anyway, right? So that is not so much of the issue. Go ahead, caller. Because I want to address the TTRA issue earlier. Go ahead.
Yeah, morning, gentlemen. I have two here for you, right? One, like a man was saying, encourage the consumer to spend, right? You're coming fast. And two, we need to have a provision in the constitution for local content. You see, we talk about the energy sector, but people who are looking for employment after certify get the self-educated so they could get into that local content provision. And if you do have that, well, you can't complain for jobs if you're not upgrading yourself, but there are programs there that are free that people could get, but they need to make yourself marketable to get within the local content provision. Thanks very much.
Thanks very much for your contribution. Oh boy, we've taken all the side for you have. I like how we're hearing different voices.
Yeah, I like the action. Go ahead, caller. We have a caller. We lost that one. Go ahead, caller. Morning.
Hello, morning.
Morning.
Quick. The employment. We need to, you see all the vacancies the government have in the public service, fill them. Like if we have whoever have the qualification to get in the government service, fill them. We're looking at who have degrees, if you have nurses, doctors, or who waiting on jobs. You have a whole new hospital going to open, hopefully in June there. Fill the vacancies one time, put them on the floor that they could get the experience. So when the hospital opens, they can get in and on the job.
I like what you said, right? Listen. But then here with the big fool, right? When they do that, would they have the money when we fill these vacancies to pay the people? Because we see where we try, the government honestly try to create 1 or 2 late jobs there, and people are crying that they are still being owed a month and money and those type of things. So, so that's why this program, and that's why we turn on all of this, because we need to know and all kind of.
And I want to also make a case, because I think when you shoot down the dole scenario, I am talking about a specific group of persons who will never be able to be qualified, can't leave the close proximity of their home because they probably, like take for instance women who have to take care of children, they are homemakers and get back home and they've had to work close to the home, etc. When you would have sent a check directly home as because you would have been assisting them with subsistence, as I say, at $2,100. It means therefore, you would have satisfied that and eliminate, of course, the criminal elements, and at the same time, you don't lose your political currency.
All right.
But we will discuss that a little bit. Let's go to the line. Good morning.
Good morning, Andy, Mr.
Morning.
Lennox, Director Snipes.
Yes.
It's time for Word of the Day.
Yeah, we want to forego that today, but give me one still. Quickly, because I know it's time for
It's phlegmatic.
Phlegmatic, yes. Phlegmatic, very slow, not agile. What's that effect? Put it that way. Phlegmatic.
Possessed, calm,
Phlegmatic.
or composed.
Where's that? Let me hear.
Self-possessed, calm, or composed. It's an adjective.
Right, okay. Yeah.
And
All right, good.
Word of the Day in balance, please, when it's time for Word of the Day. Thank you.
All right, but before you go,
All right. There are people who want, Andy, you infringe on my word of the day, and they hear callers calling in. They want to care about how much work the government could provide or not,
Right.
Because that in itself will educate people to get work. Go ahead.
What advice, Ms. Ann, at this point in time with your intelligent self, that you can give to the government short term at this point in time with the cries of people and legitimate people? Let me forget about who was smart people, who contractor was making money, or who. What advice would we be able to give them at this point in time to be able to do something to ease the frustration of some people that needs employment at this point in time? Ms. Ann? She in here.
Like
on your side.
She came for one purpose.
we have a final commercial break.
Oh boy. When things now getting waxing warm.
I don't know if you want to continue and end
up.
Are
we go straight up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or should I take it now?
All right.
What do you suggest?
Take a break.
Andy?
Take a break. All
right.
You got to do that, yeah.
Your future is safe with us. No matter your age or where you're from, or what doors are open to each and every one. A variety of
international passengers and replaces the former process of filling a paper form. To complete the online arrival and departure card, each traveler must have flight information, a valid passport, and must upload a picture of the passport biodata page. Receipts for immigration and customs containing a QR code will be generated upon submission. Download and save the receipts, which will also be sent via email. Edits can be made to the declaration prior to the day of travel. However, if any changes are required on the day of travel, passengers must complete a new online arrival and departure card. The QR code may be required before boarding and must be presented to officials upon arrival and departure. A transformative travel experience awaits. This was a production of the Information Division, Office of the Prime Minister.
This is Destra, and you're listening to the Ground Report on Talk City. Keep it locked!
Well, Trinidad and Tobago is just a minute too, so I will organize and start a wrap-up. We will always try to finish this conversation tomorrow, please God. It is very important. It is not about bashing the government. It's just real unfair. I feel how when I walk in various places, and I even hearing people that I know and all support the UNC and a strong UNC people, and I want to believe, I start to feel sorry that they are uninformed, because the fact is, good things going to come soon. We are seeing an economy that's going and build and all those various things.
Bottom line. And the decision had to be made as well.
And to see too, Lennox, you know what hurt me too?
Make them appreciate that.
To see the country, it's not UNC have the country in their state. It's PNM of the country in the state. And to see now,
and for the caller quickly, for the caller who talked about the TTRA as a solution, well, I mean, here it is. When you had the tax amnesty, remember the then Minister of Finance, Imbert said, but listen, good, they rake in more money than I expected. Instead of 2 billion, they got 3 billion. So it demonstrates that the existing system works. Is that you have to find ways and means to motivate and to increase the efficaciousness or the efficiency of the system. It's not that it cannot work. I just wanted to make that point earlier. And yes, phlegmatic, I agree with the word of the day, phlegmatic. Lack of emotions, yes, lack of emotions. And it begins, of course, with a P, P-H-L-E.
Right. So Trinidad Tobago coming up next. Mr. X, Stefan, off the record. You all could have choose anywhere else to look onto. You all choose the ground report. Tomorrow we will finish the conversation again because I find it very unfair to the UNC by people at this point in time watching it that everybody's suffering right now. All things hard and all of that is because of the new government, the UNC government, when all what we're going through was brought upon us by the PNM. And it's about time we debate it, we talk about it, we learn about
and it would have been worse if they did not make that change to the new government. Let's not waste time with that. Imagine.
Let's hear what's
gentlemen,
harder than this.
Gentlemen, I know we're over our time, but I just need to say sometimes when something, take any wound, when it's infested, when it's terrible at its worst, they have to clean it out.
Yeah.
They have to clean it out before the healing process can begin. And sometimes within the cleaning out, there's going to be some pain, there's going to be some suffering, but they have to go through that process before we begin to rebuild.
Yeah.
And I just want people to hold that in mind.
Yeah, but of course the contradictionist will say, well, is a wound you're talking about, but this is people. They must eat at a certain time, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah, that's all about.
Well. So that this exercise is one of making people understand that it's like an infested wound, but at the same time is a real people scenario, and we need, of course, to put things in perspective. All right.
Nice. Until tomorrow morning, please go to Trinidad and Tobago. Thanks so much. We are out of here.
Talk City 91.1 FM. Talk.
The cabinet has approved the increase in the permissible age of importation of foreign-use right-hand drive private cars, that's sports utilities, SUVs, sedans, and station wagons powered by gasoline, dieseline, or compressed natural gas, CNG, from 3 years to under 8 years, and under from the date of manufacture.
Music.